What's up, YouTube? Cat Sports again. Now, this is a sports channel, so let's talk some sports. Now, as usual, before I get started, let me give a shout out to the JBT community. Just Boxing Talk. We're a group of people that just love to talk boxing. And we're always looking for others to join us. And you don't have to have a channel, a podcast, anything like that. But there is one requirement. That requirement is you just have to love to talk boxing. Hardcore Boxing News, pal JBT. What's up, GP? Gregory Pratt, fellow Baltimorean. He says he's an Eagles fan, but he feels bad when those Ravens lose too. Yep. And then we got Mercedes J, pound JBT, in the building. All right. Welcome back, everybody, for another afternoon of Boxing Talk. And whatever else we decide to get into. Be quiet, phone. Okay. Now, this week, my show has been about different aspects of what fighters do in the ring. Monday, it was about, just the beginning, was about boxing stances, orthodox southpaw, Yesterday, which was Tuesday, got into footwork a little bit. Now, this show was going to be about jabs, but I decided to make it about all the different punches. Jab, cross, hook, uppercut, So, let's take a brief look at the punches. Okay, oh, you don't, Gregory? Okay. So when the Ravens win that Super Bowl, I don't want to hear no we. You're an Eagles fan, okay? Remember that. Now you're allowed to celebrate with us when the Ravens win. You're a Baltimorean, okay? Now, boxing fundamentals. This is about understanding the boxing punch number system, okay? Because each punch has a number to it. Okay. Boxing is arguably the most developed fighting system in the world. Thanks to the billions of dollars it generates globally, yearly. With so much money on the line, even governments, like Fidel Castro's administration used to have, they have committed significant funds to refine the sport, to attempt to make their fighters the best worldwide. But boxing involves a lot more than simply throwing punches at an opponent in hopes of landing something. It's a sweet science that takes years to master. You don't just get in the boxing ring and just start throwing punches and then call yourself a boxer. A lot of those guys in there that's professional boxing now have been doing it since they were 6, 7 years old. Floyd, I think his father used to take him to the gym in his crib or something. Look at Floyd's grandson. The boy got good feet already and good punch placement. What is he, about 3? That's crazy. Okay. Now, the punch numbering system used in boxing. Boxing uses a simple numbering system to name all the punches. Doing this makes it easier to teach techniques and combinations. For example, telling the fighter to throw a hook, that doesn't paint the entire picture of what you want them to do, because there's a lead hook and the rear hook, okay? You know, you can throw the hook with your lead hand, which if you are orthodox, you can throw a left hook, that's your lead hand, and a right hook, that's your backhand, or rear hook. And then you just, it's the exact opposite. If you're southpaw, your right hand would be your lead hook, your left hand would be your rear hook, okay? Like I was saying, your lead hook is your rear hand if you're orthodox. Since while it's your left hand, well, it's your left hand in the southpaw stance. That's what I was just saying. Now, the numbering system, therefore, allows trainers to let fighters know what they want from them, regardless of their stance. Here's the numbering system used in boxing. 1 is the jab. 2 is the cross. 3 is the lead hook. 4 is the rear hook. 5 is the lead uppercut. 6 is the rear uppercut. While there are 6 punches listed in the boxing punch numbering system, there are really only 4 main types of punches used in boxing: jab, cross, hook, and uppercut. Now, the numbering system covers all these punches and designates which hand the attack is thrown with. See, the numbering system is 6 because when you're talking about the hook and uppercuts, you have to have 2 numbers for it because the left and right hand, right? 4 rear hook, 5 lead hook, 3 lead hook, 4 rear hook, 5 lead uppercut, 6 rear uppercut, okay? But it's still only 4 main punches. You follow me? Now, the punch system was really developed based on an orthodox stance. See, all even numbered punches were supposed to be thrown with the right hand, and the odd numbers were supposed to be thrown with the left hand. And boxing classes typically use the punch count system to identify the punches thrown during drills. Some of the more basic combinations used in boxing include the 1-2. That's the jab and the cross. 1-2, jab, cross. 3-4, lead hook, rear hook. Depending on your stance, okay? 3-4 for orthodox will be left hook, followed by right hook. 3-4 for southpaw will be the right hook, followed by the left hook. 5-6, lead uppercut, rear uppercut. Again, depending on your stance. Which hand would be lead, which hand would be rear. Let's say beginner boxers should memorize the 6-punch numbering system to help them understand their trainer's commands when performing the drill. Now that we have a basic understanding of how the punch number system works, let's take a look at the main punches used in boxing and how they're thrown. Of course, let's start with the jab, okay? I always try to keep track of people that as they come in, because I like to. I want to make sure I acknowledge everybody. I don't have no good memory like Jay Hardcore. He can remember all the hundreds of people we have in this chat, but I can't even remember 2 or 3. I gotta write them down. Mercedes J Hardcore, and GP, Gregory Pratt, my fellow Ravens fan. No, Eagles/Ravens. Eagles first, that's right. Okay, now we're gonna start with the hook. I mean the jab, excuse me. How do you throw the jab? Now, of course, the jab is the first punch on the 6-punch numbering system because it's the most frequently used punch in boxing. Is it not? Of course it is. Now, the jab is the safest weapon you have, since when you throw it, you don't leave any significant openings in your defense if you throw it properly, right? The jab is typically used as a range finder, and it's also used to set up combinations. Now, there are many variations of the jab, but the main gist behind it is that it's a straight punch thrown with your lead hand, right? Now, if you're orthodox, jab with your right hand. No, excuse me, orthodox jab with your left hand. That's your lead hand. Southpaw, you jab with your right hand. I had it backwards. I had to stand up and figure it out. Okay. Jab with your lead hand. This is how you throw a proper jab. Get into your stance, your fighting stance, with your hands up in the guard position, okay? Extend your lead hand forward while keeping your fist aligned with its starting point. You don't want your hand to move up or down. You want to keep your fist at the same level it was while you had it in your guard position, okay? This increases the speed of the punch, and it makes it easier to bring it back to your guard position, okay? Because once you throw it, you don't want to leave it out there. Now, I've seen people do it, but you want to get it back as quick as possible. Keep it from getting counted. It says, quickly return your hand to your guard after throwing the jab to protect against potential counters. Okay? And once you get the form down, you should practice throwing the jab as fast as possible. Okay, so that wasn't bad. You want to, the most important thing is when you throw the jab, you want to keep it right at the same level. Wherever level you had your guard up, you want to throw the jab at the same level. You don't want to go up and down with it, okay? That makes it easier to bring it back to the guard position, right? So you throw it upward, then you got to bring it back downward, back to get it back to the guard position, or down, you got to come back up. You want to go straight out with it, straight back, and get it back as quickly as possible to prevent against counters. Ant McQueen, what's up, Ant? Going over a few punches that the fighters used. Okay, the next punch would be the cross. The cross is the second straight punch, but it's a lot more powerful punch than the jab. Since the cross is thrown with your rear hand, which will be your strong hand, okay? Most of the time. Because like I said the other day, every right-hand person isn't an orthodox and every left-hand person is a southpaw, but it's a majority type thing. Majority of right-hand people use the orthodox stance. Majority of left-hand people use the southpaw stance. That's why the cross is a more powerful punch than the jab, because the jab is thrown with your lead hand, the cross is drawn with your rear hand, which is normally your strongest hand, right? Now, the cross is also the second safest punch in your arsenal next to the jab, and is also a ranged weapon, okay? Now, a properly thrown cross can land with enough power to put your opponent away, okay? Here's how to throw a cross. Okay, get into your boxing stance with the lead hand slightly in front of your chin. Okay, rear hand should be next to your chin. Pivot on your back foot and rotate your hips. And extend your arms towards your opponent. Right? Once you make contact with the cross, rotate your torso back to the starting position. Bring your hand back to your face. It don't seem that difficult, but you know, when you're actually doing it, especially when you're in a fight and you got fire coming back at you, it wouldn't be simple at all. Now, number 3 is the lead hook. And the lead hook is thrown with left or right hand according to what stance you're in, okay? Orthodox, lead hook would be thrown with your left hand. Southpaw, lead hook is thrown with your right hand. Self-explanatory. The lead hook is one of your more powerful punches because it generates power from your legs and torso, and it can be used in middle to inside range, okay? Now, the lead hook is one of the trickier power punches since you throw it with your weak hand, your front hand, right? Because you know your power hand is in the back most of the time. And this punch needs to be practiced often so you can get the technique feeling natural to you. Now, to perform a lead hook, get into your fighting stance with your hands in the guard position. Pivot off your lead foot and rotate your body as you throw the punch. Keep your elbow bent at a 90-degree angle while throwing the punch on the same plane as your shoulders. Now, it's important. Your elbow should maintain that angle as you follow through on the punch. Okay, don't let your elbow slide up or down. Okay, you got to try to keep it at that 90-degree angle. Right, you're doing that with your lead hand. Your elbow at the 90-degree angle as you follow through. Now, the rear hook. Now, the rear hook is the more powerful of the hooks. And the rear hook should land with enough power to put your opponent away. And it's more effective at close distances, the rear hook, okay? Here's how you do it. Start in your boxing stance with your hands up by your face. Bring your rear arm to the same height as your shoulder and bend your elbow so your upper and lower arms form a 90-degree angle. Pivot on your rear foot. Rotate your hips and torso as you throw the punch. Again, keep your elbow bent at that 90-degree angle until you make contact. Okay, Okay. Now, number 5 is the lead uppercut. Now, the lead uppercut is another powerful punch for close distance. Now, the punch follows an upward trajectory, which makes it hard to block. Okay. You use the power from your legs and torso to drive your fist upward into your opponent. Here's what the technique looks like. Get into your boxing stance. Bend your knees to enter a 3/4 squat and drop your lead arm so it forms a 90-degree angle with your body. Use the power generated from your legs to drive your fist into the target while keeping your elbow bent. Okay. And 6th and final is the rear uppercut. Now, the rear uppercut is the most powerful weapon in your arsenal. And just like the rear hook, it works best at close distances. When your opponent cannot see your hand below their guard, right? Get in close. Now, to perform the rear uppercut, drop into a 3/4 squat and drop your rear hand so it forms a 90-degree angle with your body. Pivot on your back foot and rotate at your hips as you drive your fist upward into your target. Okay. Now, I'm gonna do something. I want to take a closer look at the jab. And then I'm gonna leave this alone. A closer look at the jab. Because I like the jab. A good jab, I mean, a decent jab is mandatory, you know. Excuse me for 1 second. Oh, here we go. Take a close look at the jab. What's up, Amber Queen? Yeah, right, Gregory. Now, the jab, right? A jab is a type of punch used in martial arts. Several variations of the jab exist, but every jab shares these characteristics. While in a fighting stance, the lead fist is thrown straight ahead and the arm is fully extended from the side of the torso. This process also involves a quick turn of the torso. It is an overhand punch. At the moment of impact, the pronated fist is generally held in a horizontal orientation with the palm facing the ground, right? Straight out. Horizontal orientation with the palm facing the ground. Now, the word jab was first used in 1825 to mean to thrust with a point. The term is a Scottish variant of the word job, K-O-B, which means to strike, pierce, or thrust, right? Okay, some uses of the jab. Uses of the jab. Whoa, likes looking good. 9 likes already. Beautiful. Okay, I'll put that link in there in a very few minutes. Let me finish this. Uses of the jab. Defense. Okay. A jab is an integral part of a fighter's defense, right? Its speed and power of execution and reach can keep your opponent at a distance, preventing him or her from charging in, okay? The speed and power of execution and reach and keep your opponent at a distance, preventing him or her from charging in. I think this is what you was talking about a little, Gregory. Defensive jabs can be employed while moving backwards, right? Now the speed jab. This jab gives a fighter high mobility and is often used with the intention of scoring points. Speed jab. Fighters use this variation of the jab when they want to preserve the mobility and balance of their stance. Speed jab. Range finding jab. Okay. Used in order to establish a feeling for distance. Range finding. The range finding jab is often used to set up a power punch with the other hand, right? Use that range finder to set up a power punch with your other hand. Thus, it can help conserve stamina and lower the risk of being countered by allowing the fighter to commit his stronger hand only when he is within proper range. Boxers have been wobbled by a range-finding jab. Then the old power jab. There you go, Gregory. Power can be added to a jab if it is thrown with a moderate step forward. Yeah, I remember Gregory said something about they had to step with that jab, right? Power can be added to a jab if it is thrown with a moderate step forward. Now, the drawback to that technique, taking that moderate step forward, is it can take the fighter out of his boxing stance, committing him to that punch rather than the speed jab. Now, pivot jab is the most powerful jab, one in which the weight shifts almost entirely to the lead foot, which pivots to put the mass of the body behind the punch. Pivot jab. Now, jabbing from the hip rather than from a tight guard. Jabbing from the hip rather than from a tight guard will add power to the jab at the expense of speed. Okay. So you jab from the hip, you're sacrificing your speed. From the hip rather than from a tight guard. Okay. Jab to the body. Jabbing to the body is relatively uncommon. Not really what they're talking about. Because it increases the fighter's vulnerability to a counterpunch. Okay. It's not uncommon, but it does increase your vulnerability to a counterpunch. I agree with that part. Yeah. So I'll leave that alone. Jabbing to the body increases the fighter's vulnerability to a counterpunch. Typically, the fighter bends at the waist and fires a speed jab to the midsection of his opponent in an attempt at getting the opponent to drop his guard. Because the body ain't moving. You know that old saying? The body ain't going nowhere. Okay. When you catch him in that body right, that guard is coming down. Then you follow up with your rear hand or power hand upstairs. Change levels on it. Okay. Now, it is impractical to put the body weight behind this punch, the jab to the body. So power is limited. Okay. Now, the jab to the body is a good use of effectively countering your opponent's lead jab. Jab combinations. Almost finished. Jab combinations. Jabs are often doubled up in an attempt at getting the opponent to compromise his guard. Jabbing on the fly is a point scoring maneuver that employs a quick series of speed jabs thrown by a circling fighter. of course, most combinations start with a jab as a way of closing the distance and finding the proper range. Good point. Most combinations start with a jab as a way of closing the distance and finding the proper range. In this context, the jab is referred to as a setup jab. Right? Very interesting. Now, many fighters, what's up, Tampa Tommy Morris? You missed most of the punch conversation, my friend. You might have to watch the playback. Okay, now, a lot of fighters in their combinations with a jab that is designed to do what? Stifle counter punches, right? Through a combination. Good way to stop a counter punch is through a jab after the combination. Right, Ant? You agree with that? Many fighters in their combinations with a jab that is designed to stifle counter punches. Okay. That was kind of interesting. Pro Box tonight, y'all. This will be my second time watching it. It's pretty good too. I think you have to put some kind of link in or something to get that Pro Box. I'm not exactly sure. Okay, I'm getting ready to drop the link in. Okay. Yeah, Pro Box every other Wednesday, and this is the Wednesday for it. Okay. I could only find, I think it's more, but I found 4 of the fights. The main event is Orlando Gonzalez versus Jorge Castaneda. Okay. The co-main is Marcelino Lopez versus Tariq Zayn. And we also got a Marquez Valley on the card against Maria Nagauga and GOGA. I'm good at butchering names. Then Johnny Angelagos versus Jose Lopez. I don't know if it's more than 4 fights, but that was only 4 I could pull up. How you doing this afternoon, Thomas? Good to see you. Now, Puerto Rican Orlando Gonzalez and Jorge Castellano is American. They're fighting for the WBA Continental North America Super Featherweight type 130. And Thomas has got that WBA in front of it, so somebody paying sanctioning fees, right? That's what we was talking about. Oh, put the link on this one. But it's for the WBA Continental North America Super Featherweight title 130. It just sounds like something somebody thought up with, just to add some more sanctioning fees. Now, Gonzalez is 28 years old from Aguadillo, Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico, yeah. Comes in with a 3-fight winning streak. He's trying to make it number 4 straight to get that belt. Okay. Now, Castaneda is a Mexican descendant. And he was knocked out last year by Eduardo Hernandez. Remember him? He just fought Oshaki. Remember? Got knocked out by Oshaki. Castaneda was stopped by him last year. Now, Castaneda did get a comeback win. He won a decision over Nestor Medellin last August. And now it's headlining this card along with Gonzalez. Gonzalez is 21-2. 12 knockouts. Castaneda is 16-2 with 12 knockouts. All right. Okay, bear with me for 1 second. Here comes the link. Okay. Yeah, man. I remember in the hangout this morning, Jake was talking about Ryan Garcia, and he was telling me how hard I was on Ryan, but Ryan talking all that trash to Shakur, but he's the one that quit. At least Shakur But he might have been boring, but he never quit in a fight. Okay. Ryan quit. So he don't have too much room to be talking trash to anybody. Tell you about Bob Arum talking about he wants to make a fight between Manny Pacquiao and Josh Taylor. Not an exhibition, a real fight. Between Manny Pacquiao and Josh Taylor. What does Manny need? Money or something? This is like the third time in like the last year I'd heard him talking about getting back in there against somebody. No. Manny, do an exhibition. You know, your career is over. You were a great champion. What was it, like 100 weight division champion or something? All the steroids he was using. No, I'm sorry. But you know, it's over, man. I can't even find it. Today is the 29th. Well, there's the link. I couldn't find it. Yeah. Manny Pacquiao. And Sky Nicholson, she wants to fight Amanda Serrano. But and she said she's willing to take any kind of deal they put on the table. And I like that. That's a fighter. She betting on herself. She said she's willing to take any kind of deal, because after she takes that undisputed from Serrano, she'll be the man, or she'll be the woman. You know, she'll be the top dog. So that's how you do it. She just want to get in the ring and match her skills against the champion. He said the ball is in Serrano's court, whatever she want to do. But they're saying Serrano is thinking about another fight with Katie Taylor. And she's also in that what is it called? That she's in one of those MMA organizations, EFA or something like that. So, and they saying she's making her debut fight in that next year. So, Guy might not get that fight. But I want to see Chantel Cameron and Katie Taylor instead of Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano again. They might as well hit that trilogy now. Well, because they had the rematch back to back, why not have a trilogy? I think that would be the logical thing to do. You know? We'll have to see what happens with that. I think Serrano would beat her. But it would be a good fight. Bud Crawford. Saw an article where Bud Crawford said this is the reason why he doesn't want to fight. Let me find it. The IBF champion, which is Ron Boots in it. Excuse me for 1 minute, gentlemen. Listen to the music for like 30 seconds. Today is the old hump day. What is it? Week 13 begins tomorrow in the NFL. My Ravens almost got the AFC North filled up already. He won't. On their way to the Super Bowl. What is this, 45? No, 50 something. Okay. I'm trying to find this article about Terrence Crawford, why he won't fight. Interesting article. New IBF champion. IBF champion, which is Jerron Boutsinis. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Mike Masick, what's happening, bro? I said I was going to get you, Mike, and here you go. Finally remembered. Okay, Mike, you're now a managing moderator for Cat Sports. Welcome to the team, Mike Masick. How you doing today, Mike? Now, Mike, what was you said? When was I going to answer you about something this morning? What was the question? Put it in the chat because I missed it. I went back through. I didn't see a question that you had asked me. Okay, Terrence Crawford says Terrence Crawford is nearing the end of his Hall of Fame career, and he's in a position to pursue mega fights. Okay, that means he has to say no to some young, hungry guys looking to build a name with a win over the 36-year-old legend. Okay, so I can see where he's coming from. You know. Oh, no problem, Mike. You're part of the team. Okay. Yeah, Crawford was of course, we all know Crawford was recently stripped of his IBF strap. IBF. And it was awarded to Boots. Let's check something out real quick. Okay. Right. Okay. He was recently stripped of his IBF strap, and it was awarded to Boots Ennis. Wow. Crawford was asked, would he be willing to face Ennis, right? And his answer was, listen, like I said, we're in two different places. Jerron is in one place, I'm in another. Okay? He said he's looking for mega fights right now. And Boots is not a mega fight. Okay? So that's where he stands on it. Okay, so that pretty much seals the deal. We will not be seeing Terrence Crawford versus Boots. Okay. He said he's looking to fight guys like Canelo or rematch with Earl. And that's it. That's all. Okay. Bad as we want to see the Boots fight, hey, that's just what it is, you know? The man is keeping it 100, and I respect that. Okay? He's looking for the big money fight. He's 37, it's 36 or 37, I think he's 37 years old. Boots is not a big money fight. He wants Canelo or Earl Spence. So, it is what it is. Now, Boots is 31 over 28 KOs. He's only 26. And he hasn't quite broken into the top 10 yet. Okay. Definitely not in the top drawers of the sport yet. Close, but not there. Now, I don't agree with this. Well, he probably would be, but I just don't agree with it. It said Crawford would be a heavy favorite over Ennis. Okay. But true, there's not too much for him to gain fighting Boots, but a whole lot for him to lose, you know. Crawford is still atop the pound for pound list. At this point, he's proven he's a great champion and an all-time great. Yeah. Mhm. Bruce Gas, boxing, jazz, and more. What's up, my brother? How you doing this afternoon, Bruce? Just talking a little boxing. We can pretty much forget Crawford against Boots. Crawford pretty much, I think it was yesterday, did an interview and pretty much put that to rest. You know, he said he's at one place in his career and Boots is in another. And he's looking for big money fights like Canelo Earl Spence rematch. He's looking for big money fights, and Boots is not one of them. So he has nothing to gain by fighting Boots. So we might as well just stop worrying about that. Boots is not top tier yet, and by the time he gets top tier, Crawford probably won't even be in the game anymore. So that'll be one of them ones we'll always be saying, what if, you know? What if Boots and Crawford would have fought? So, hey, it is what it is. It's a good move for Crawford. Yeah. He's chasing fights now that will bring him generational wealth. Mm-hmm. Like Canelo or the Earl Spence rematch at 54. Mm-hmm. Because they did have a rematch clause, and Spence has executed his rematch clause. So, yeah. Me personally, I think I would really rather see Crawford and Boots than a Earl Crawford rematch. What would y'all like to see in the chat? Crawford Boots or the Crawford Earl rematch? Give me an idea. Anybody? I'd rather see Crawford Boots. Me personally. You know. I don't want to see Crawford fight Canelo. I want to see Canelo fight David Benavidez. I don't want to see Canelo drag a man up 2 or 3 weight classes anymore. No. I'm not paying for it this time. So, it says Crawford versus Canelo will likely take place at 168. It is going to take place at 168. I saw Canelo on the Breakfast Club, and he said that he's not going down. And Crawford would definitely be the B-side. It's Canelo. Everybody would be the B-side against Canelo. You know? Likes looking good, man. I appreciate everybody. Everybody has hit the like. Now, if Crawford could go up there and beat Canelo, he is definitely the best fighter of this generation. No question about it. I don't think he can do it. Okay? I don't think he can do it. Yep. Yeah. So that's that. Now what's next for Tank? Brian Garcia is saying Tank doesn't hit hard. Somebody hit me in my side and make me quit. I'm damn sure not gonna say they don't hit hard. What does that make me look like? The man hit you in your side and made you quit, and he don't hit hard? Wow. What does that say about you? Why did you quit then if it wasn't hard? Ryan Garcia just rubbed me the wrong way with his mouth, man. Then he's up here criticizing Shakur. Shakur may have looked boring in his last fight, but he's never quit in a fight. Okay? It's like you get in a fight at school and somebody wiped the paper with you and you run around saying they can't fight, but they beat the crap out of you. Man hit him in the side and made him quit. But he's running around talking about the man don't hit hard. Come on, Ryan, please. We just try and get another $30 million fight, I guess. Tank ain't biting on that nonsense, though. Mm-mm. Go ahead and beat Duarte Saturday and go ahead and get your belt from Rolly, Ryan. Okay? That's the safest thing for you to do. And that's what Austin got planned for you, which is not bad. You'll be a champion. What is Rolly doing anyway? It says something about he's a champion in recess. Is that true? I know he hasn't fought. But Big Watch Barroso is on his card tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, Saturday. In a title eliminator for that WBA belt that Rolly is going after. I know what I need to look up. Oscar Duarte was beat by a guy. The guy that beat Oscar Duarte was knocked out by Matias and Ergashev. Okay. Now I was trying to wonder if that was back to back, because if somebody put this guy in the ring against Matias and Ergashev back to back, they must not like him. Okay. They was trying to get him hurt. Imagine that. Matias and Ergashev back to back. Whoa. That's a rough. Okay. Take a look at Oscar Duarte's box right. 26-1-1. I think 5'9". Okay. Now fighting at 140. Orthodox guy. Yeah. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, his last 11 fights have been stoppages. Okay. His last 11 fights have been stoppages, but they haven't not exactly been against names. But they were all grown men. And they're throwing hands at his head, so hey, they count for something. You know. Adrian Estrella was the one that beat him. So now let me look up Adrian Estrella's box score, because I want to see this about this Matias and Ergashev situation with this guy. This is the guy that beat Duarte's only loss, Adrian Estrella. Box rec. Very interesting. Okay. There we go. Adrian Estrella box rec. Now, Adrian Estrella is. Come on. What kind of box rec is that? Wow. Let me try that again. Let me try that again. That didn't come out too good. So nobody answered me on the, I wanted to know, who would you rather see Bud fight next? Earl Spence or Jaron Ennis? Anybody? I would rather see Jaron Ennis. But Earl exercised his rematch clause, so it's going to be Earl Spence. Now, the Conor Van Boots situation, I would love to see that. And you know, when Boots was awarded that IBF belt, I didn't think it would make a difference. I was thinking, no, there's going to be no one still willing to fight him. But it looks like Conor Ben has bitten. He says he wants the shot. Oh, wait a minute. Did I bring you up here? I saw Ant McQueen, but he disappeared. He went back out. I can't get Adrian Estrella's box rec to come up. So, I don't get it. Nope, can't get it. Conor Benn versus Boots would be a good fight for Boots. And then go to the UK and fight him. Yeah. I'd rather see Conor Benn than Barrios. I think it would be a tougher test for him. Against Conor Benn instead of Barrios. Because Thurman isn't going to fight him. Cody Crowley isn't going to fight him. I don't know where Rashidi is. He already beat Vila. What else is at 147? There's Dan McQueen. Oh, there we go. I always had problems finding my cursor.
Oh no, that was on me. I had to reset my thing.
What's up, man?
Came in through the app.
Yeah, we can forget that Crawford Boots matchup. Crawford has closed the door on that. For good.
No, I'm not mad at him.
Nah, me neither.
I'm not mad at him.
I would have wanted to see it, but
I said the show must go on.
Must go on, yeah. We got Conor Benn making noise over there like he wants to step up to the plate.
Yeah, but he's also talking about Chris Eubank, so these guys can only fight one fight at a time. So
one fight at a time.
We'll see how it goes. I want to say one thing though about that one name that you just mentioned before. Ryan Garcia talking about Tank.
Right.
I'm not mad at what Ryan said though, because what he said, I do think that it's relative to his experience.
Yeah.
And I also feel like to some degree it's actually a compliment to Tank and his skill level and his IQ, because he didn't just say, "Oh, Tank doesn't hit hard." He also made note of the placement and the timing, and the suddenness at which the punch had came upon him. So I think that's important to note as well. And remember, Rolly said something similar.
Yeah, he did.
He said he felt as though Tank didn't really hit too hard, but also Tank himself said that when he knocked Rolly out, he didn't even put everything into that punch.
Yeah, he did say that.
Threw it, but it was the placement. So I think that's a testament to the experience that Tank has gained over the years. Because earlier in his career, when he was at 130, there were a couple of fights, and I understand that he's also done a better job of taking care of himself in between fights, remaining disciplined. But
absolutely.
Remember, like the Gamboa fight where he was unloading on Gamboa, hitting this dude with everything but the kitchen sink, and he looked like he almost gassed out in that fight.
Yeah.
He was throwing some hellacious shots. And it seems as though he's gotten better at taking a little bit of steam off his punches and varying his punches. Because Leo Santa Cruz has something very similar too. I'm not sure if you've seen that short clip of Leo Santa Cruz. He didn't necessarily say that Tank didn't hit that hard, but he was saying that, they were fighting and he thought he was right there with him, and bam, out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But to me, what that suggests is that Tank wasn't hitting him with everything early on with them shots that he was throwing. He was taking some off, and then when he finally caught him flush and he really put some leverage on it, he got him up out of there and hit him with a crazy clean shot. So I think that's again, I think that's a testament to Tank's improvement over the years.
Yeah, and the injury too. Ryan might have been saying something about he was hurt, and Tank caught him in the right spot too.
Yeah, but even with the shot that dropped and when he caught him on the chin, that's all placement. That's all timing. You don't gotta hit a guy super duper hard when you can catch him when they're vulnerable like that. And then you also put enough on the shot to where it's a nice firm shot, but that timing and that placement, like stuff like that goes a long way. And
that first knockdown.
Some of these other guys will do, right? Like Ryan himself. If you look at the shots that Ryan was throwing at Tank, I feel like Tank did a great job at evading a lot of those shots because he was throwing them with the same intensity, with the same velocity. So you throw everything at the same speed, with the same force. It makes it a lot easier for a guy to get your timing down pat. It doesn't matter how fast you are or how hard you throw. If you throw everything the same, eventually the guy's going to be able to time it.
Yeah, gonna get you. Thomas Hill in the building. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I was just kind of getting on Ryan.
No, absolutely. Because, but that's why I feel like it wasn't.
So you kind of like fading out, Ant. Ant, you kind of fading out a little. BN Boxing News, salute, bro. BN Boxing News in the building. Thomas Hill has came into the building. What's up, gentlemen? Good to see you. This Wednesday afternoon.
There we go. Yeah, switch my. Switch my
loud and clear. Loud and clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, you loud and clear now.
Yeah, but that's stuff like that is important. Stuff like that is important. I was watching that David Benavidez interview he did with Pro Box, and I was saying to my bro Angelo when we were watching the fight together, because initially he thought that right hand that he dropped Boo Boo with was a counter shot. And I was saying to him, no, that wasn't a counter shot. That was just fantastic placement, because if you look, when Boo Boo got clipped with that right hand, he actually had his left hand up. It's not like he was absolutely defenseless. But David did a great job of looping the shot to where it landed inside the guard. He didn't even punch. He didn't punch around it from like the outside like people typically do. Typically, you know, somebody will punch around the guard from the outside.
On the outside,
like the side of the face. He punched. He punched just about an inch or so inside the guard, and it landed like picture perfect.
Nice placement. Yeah,
fantastic placement. And he talked about it too. He was saying that, you know, he tried to land that same shot earlier in the second round, but it landed just a tad bit short, and he ended up catching Boo Boo on the chest. So then when he threw it in the fourth round, he aimed a little bit higher because he figured that, you know, Boo Boo would move his head and he would keep his guard up. So he was actually aiming for his forehead, but with Boo Boo moving and with him putting his left hand up, it actually ends up landing right on the chin.
Right
he
there.
was throwing it to where he was going to be. You know, stuff like that is crucial, man. Like placement, accuracy, timing, and again, man, I think that it's much more of a compliment to Tank than maybe we realize, because we just hear the first thing, which is, you know, the power is average or whatever. It's like, yo. I think that speaks volumes. Terrence Crawford is another guy where he's able to drop guys.
Yeah.
You look when he dropped Sean Porter twice in that fight. Sean didn't look like he was completely out of it, but the shot is so sharp, it's so accurate that it's momentarily debilitating. Like your legs just go from underneath you.
Yeah, both of them. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Hey, Pro Box tonight, Ant. This is the week, right?
Sir. And we got a solid card tonight too, Cash. We got a
fights on that card. Because I found 4 of them. Is it more than 4? Or is it? Because I found 4 fights. I couldn't find any more that was on there.
Yeah, I think it's about 4 fights, 4 or 5. I think we got ourselves like 1 10-rounder, and everything else is between like 6 and 8.
Oh, 6 and 8. The main event is, what is that, 10 rounds?
Yes.
Gonzalez and Castaneda. Okay.
Yep.
Now, don't you have to have a link or something to put in to watch those fights? I can't remember how I got in last time.
YouTube. You just go to Pro Box TV on YouTube. Yep, they broadcast directly on YouTube. They do have an app. They do have an app where you could just watch it on YouTube directly, which is always good. It's very convenient.
Yeah.
Because as long as you subscribe to it, you just come on at 8 o'clock and you should see it on your main page.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. This will be my second time watching it. It was very good too. Pro Box. Yeah. See some good fights on there. A lot of people sleeping on that Pro Box. You know, I was one of them. Yeah. Good commentary. good commentary too.
Very good commentary.
Paulie and
you know what I like about the commentary? Because with
What's that?
ProBox, with their whole setup, it's not like they have a house fighter that they have to sell. Because you know how it is when you watch any of the other major broadcasting networks or just promotional companies, they just whoever the guy is that they're looking to promote. Even when the other guy is doing work, he's not getting any credit for it. You're not gonna see any replays.
Nope. Yeah, they have the highlights geared toward their fighter and everything.
Yep, it's extremely lopsided.
That's why I like ProBox. You know, like you say, they don't have that house fighter. They really call what's happening in the ring. And then we got to see the action with the guy pushed the referee. Plus, it was a female referee too.
Yeah, but that guy Velasco, he was just looking for a way out. You could just see it in his face, like he didn't want to be in there anymore. Like he just came to collect his check, and that was it. He got the fight beat out of him relatively early.
I know. Yeah, that wasn't that. What round was that? I can't even remember. It wasn't that far into it.
No, it wasn't, and he had several infractions that he had to be warned about too. So it's not like
already.
Yeah, it's not like she just reprimanded him for something or was trying to make herself the star of the show. I wasn't really feeling some of the commentary from the chat though. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I wasn't really feeling it too tough. It was extremely sexist because had it been a male referee, nobody would be saying anything.
Nope.
Because the stuff that she was warning Velasco for was stuff that all guys get warned for, which is,
that's right.
Hey,
she was doing a good job.
You in
I
here,
thought she was.
You guys ain't working. You gotta separate, get back to work. You know what I mean? Richard Steele was a huge proponent of that. You know, anytime you watch Richard Steele, he'd be like, "Hey guys, it's not wrestling, box." You know what I mean? Like, you holding too much, separate, box, get back to it.
Yeah, that was the first time I saw her. I know they got that other referee, female referee, name is Star, something like that. This one, she was pretty good. Yeah, I thought so.
Nah, she was. But again, you know how it is. Typically, you know, us as men.
Yeah.
Like we gotta put an asterisk next to everything these ladies do.
Yeah, that's true. Remo, that is very true. What's up, Remo? Remo comes into the building. The lights are looking good. Yeah, appreciate it. Kind of like going up, you know, getting better every day.
Yes, sir. It's growing gradually.
Yeah, slowly but surely.
Yes, sir.
That's cool. Yeah. And then the weigh-in is tomorrow. The guy that I was talking about the beat Duarte, what was the Adrian Estrella? I was trying to pull his back up because Big Dose was telling me that he lost to both Matias and Ergashev. And he said somebody might have been back to back. Somebody was trying to get him hurt, wasn't he? Put him in there against Matias and Ergashev back to back. That's crazy.
That's what it sounds like, right? Like no favors, hey man, you got to prove yourself.
Yeah, and he got knocked out by both of them.
I can believe it, man. The Ergashev could punch.
Yeah,
that guy can punch, man.
Oh, just in general, Remo. Remo say what we cooking on. You got something you want to cook about? Come on up, Remo. Something on your mind? Just in general. Boxing. That's all. I was talking about.
I've been enjoying these what's names you've been doing too. You know, going back to the fundamentals. I've been enjoying that stuff a lot.
That's what I meant to ask you about, but it slipped my mind. Just that we kept talking about other stuff. You like that?
No, definitely, man. It's like I said, you know, we need these refreshers as fans, and I feel like the fighters should definitely.
Yeah, I'm learning a lot from it myself, reading that stuff. You know, like the numbers and all that, and you know, the punch system was designed for orthodox fighters, but you just all you gotta do is just like turn it around for the southpaw, you know.
Yep, just reverse it.
Yeah, like the one. Oh, where is it?
Yep.
Yeah, just turn it around. I can't even find it now. Yeah, 1 is the jab, 2 is the cross, 3 lead hook, 4 rear hook.
Yeah, so, but I feel like that stuff like with those with the breaking down of the fundamentals and all of these things, I feel like it helps create a mental picture, you know, of just the flow of the fight, because there's so many things that go into a fight. And while one guy may or may not be more successful than another, there's a whole lot that goes into it besides just these guys just throwing punches.
Yeah.
Like you understand, like sometimes like why a guy may not be throwing a certain punch.
Mm-hmm.
Why he might be throwing a punch. Why might he be moving this way, that way.
Yeah, one guy might be more successful than the other, but they both in there trying to do it, you know? And that just gives you a look at what they're in there trying to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm learning a lot myself by doing those things. First, I was just going to talk about the jab, but then I say I might as well just, you know, do all of them. Yeah.
We may have to do an accompaniment piece. To these things that you're doing, and just like look at these things and see what they look like, you know. So in addition to learning about them and hearing about them, you know, the whole oral side of it, but also give the visual presentation.
Yeah.
Sync them up.
That'd be something to do on the casual corner, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. You already did one for Ryan and Duarte, right? I think.
Yeah, but we could always review it again. Review it again. And here's the cool part too. We could also talk about like what we hope to see from these gentlemen, because the beautiful thing is, you know, we gotta really look at these guys on a fight to fight, camp to camp basis.
That's true.
And see what they add too. I think that's another interesting thing too that we could do is, you know, post fight, like what did these guys add? What did they bring?
Yeah. That's a good idea, because you know we did the film study before the fight, do a post-fight film study, because you know you're doing it before the fight with them against other people. Do one after the fight that you know, and then with each other. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I would say that the thing that's even more important than that is just to see where they are individually. You know, irrespective of, you know, their fight with one another, because David Benavidez was talking about how hard he had prepared for certain things. Like one of the things that he mentioned on it, and I thought it was like I was just so impressed with his mindset and with his mentality was this. Remember we were talking about, you know, when he throws that brick hand and that right leg drifts.
Yeah.
And then I had showed the example of Boo Boo countering Carlton Dagwood. How he stepped around and he sailed him out, and he hit him with that straight left hand. David was saying that he was actually looking out for that.
I know.
I'm trying to make sure that he wasn't able to place his lead foot on the outside of my foot to create that angle. So, you know, he had governed himself accordingly to make sure that Boo Boo didn't have success with that. And I was impressed with that, man. Just even with the fact that he was watching and he was scouting himself and saying like, yo, these are the things that I need to prioritize this camp in order to make sure that this guy isn't able to be successful with that particular tactic against me. I thought that was extremely impressive. And then also to see him go out there and execute.
He said he expected more from Boo Boo, but he might have just did so much of a good job that Boo Boo couldn't do more, you know?
Exactly. And that's
but David just, I was very impressed with
exactly what I'm saying. That's the other part of it, right? It's like, these guys, they have certain tendencies, but all it takes is for these guys to put in the right amount of focus, the right amount of work to make sure that they minimize certain things, or to make sure that they try to amplify other things to optimize their chances at success. And David did just that. He did a great job.
And like one point you made, he getting better right before our eyes, man. Benavidez is. He is.
Yeah, that's why personally, Kaz, is like, I like to do those film studies because it's not necessarily about making a pick. It's about looking at what both guys present.
Yeah.
Areas that can be taken advantage of, but there's always that stipulation. It's contingent upon whether or not, for the negative things, these guys continue to do these things, and whether or not the other guy can take advantage of it.
Can take advantage of them, yeah. And David is getting better and better and better. And he's only 26. I can see him. Yeah, and he's going to be at 175. You said you would rather see him fight. Oh, it might have been somebody else I asked. I was asking would they rather see him fight Bivol or Beterbiev. I said Bivol, but they said Beterbiev. Rather see him fight Beterbiev.
On Pro Box, they said they rather. I can't remember who it was. One of them said they would rather see him fight Beterbiev, if I'm not mistaken. If it wasn't on Pro Box, it was Fight Hype. It was one of those sorts.
Okay. Fight both of them. But Bivol is on this card in December. The big Saudi Arabia card, and then Beterbiev fights in January. Yeah. What about Morrell? There's a lot of talk about Morrell and Benavidez. You think he's ready for that, David Morrell? Or he needs some more fights? What do you think about that?
What was the question?
I was saying all this buzz about David Morrell and Benavidez. Do you think David Morrell is ready, or does he need some more work, some more experience?
We won't know until we know. Some guys, with their experience, they're able to be on a quote-unquote fast track. So who knows? We won't know until he's in there.
So you say go ahead and throw him in there. So we'll see.
Yeah, and then also, part of it comes down to temperament and mentality, whether or not a guy is ready for a certain opportunity.
Yeah.
And David Morrell, he might have what it takes to compete and possibly win. We won't know until he's in there.
Yeah. And then he might get overwhelmed.
I think physically, he's up for the task.
Yeah.
And their careers are pretty interesting to me too, because David's only had 15 amateur fights, but now he's had 20 some odd professional fights. But and I'm saying David because they both of them David. But Benavidez only had 15 amateur fights, 20 some odd professional fights. But Morrell has had over 50 plus amateur fights, so he's got a lot of experience in that regard.
Right.
And but he's got 10 professional fights. So it's kind of flipped.
Professional.
In terms of their experience.
Kind of flipped, exactly.
Yeah.
That's a
and
good
as far
point
as we know, David Benavidez has the experience on the big stage because he's fought now against Darrell and Clint and now Andre.
So it might turn into a good fight. Those things might balance out, What's up, Remo?
What's going on, fellas?
Not too much. What's on your mind, Remo?
I always got some shit on my mind, right?
Talk to us.
I've been going back and forth on this idea of the Amazon Prime deal and what it would look like as far as what's the difference in Amazon Prime compared to how it was presented previously with HBO versus Showtime. Because the money's there, but I'm not sure how the platform be cemented to benefit boxing.
Yeah. But what happened to Showtime? Why did they Why are they getting away from it?
I don't know the actual reason for it, but I just know they're more focused on movies. That's a movie generated kind of platform, and there's a lot of shit going on in Hollywood with writer strikes, there's actor strikes. And, you would figure to put more money to where the actual money should be vested in, which is movies. That's bringing it all. They probably just say it doesn't benefit us doing boxing.
Right. Probably something like that, yeah.
But I see when Coach Calvin started talking now, I don't know if he was supposed to say something or not, but he said he smiled from ear to ear. He like, man, there's a smiley face box in everybody's house. But I just want to hear from you guys, like, what you think the format would be as far as like bringing the big fights? Do you get more boxing? I don't know. I don't know what the
with Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
I gotta see how they start out. See, they're supposed to have this big thing coming up next year, early next year, right?
They should be starting kicking off at 24. But I think for what we've been seeing from the tail end of PBC, and Showtime, is that they've been loading up these fights. Like, you've been doing some good fights on the same card. It hasn't really been like front loaded in a while. Like maybe like the last 4 or 5 months. Everything been giving you at least 2 to 3 good fights on a card with some reputable, fights, preliminary fights to the pay-per-view. I don't know if that's gonna be the direction they want to head moving forward. I'm not sure, but I hope so. Yeah,
I'm like this in like wait and see mode with this new thing.
I hope they go modern though. I know everybody enjoys the nostalgic feeling of HBO and these old commentators. But I think what they need is like a refreshment course. You see how Ant he likes the non-biased commentary of Pro Box?
Pro Box, yeah. I like that.
They need some personalities that's going to attract and gain the attention of casuals too.
But see, Pro Box don't have any fighters that they trying to push or anything. So when this new system coming, they might have fighters just like the rest of them that they trying to push, and that bias part comes into it.
Cause I think now that they got 3 guys. Well, you still got Canelo in the fold, but there's a Boots.
Yeah.
There's a Tank. And now there's the Monster.
Yeah.
And that's 3 separate divisions where you can push stars, but you need the audience to these guys. Tank is still in his 20s. Boots is still in his 20s. So is David.
Yeah, all 3 of them.
Yeah, you need the attraction. Tank is almost at the tail end of it, but you still need to hit it when the iron is hot.
Tank still got that young crowd though,
Yeah, but bringing nostalgic commentary and all of that, they can't relate to Tank and these guys. That's the direction I want to see what they're gonna do as far as the marketing. And, it's just really intriguing to me.
You talking about that Jim Lampley angle that somebody mentioned that he was going to be involved in or something?
Yeah, if you bring somebody in from once in a while, like spot commentary or like a big fight, but, like even when you remember when what was it, Fight TV or something like that used to hold fights, and they had Snoop Dogg on it. He don't know much about boxing and knows, but it was entertaining as hell to listen to. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to hear an outside voice.
Audience with him, exactly.
That too.
Just having his name, going to bring a certain type of audience with him. So that wasn't a bad idea. And that wouldn't be a bad idea,
I think the sport needs to get younger. Just like basketball and football and all of that, it gets younger. They added dances and, I don't know. The money is there, though. The money is there for a different, I wouldn't say a newer approach, just a fresher approach.
In football and basketball, they have how can I say it? Their commentators are well, the ex-players are like players that just haven't been out that long. Like boxing got these guys, man, been out of the sport, years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like football, basketball, and get guys that just retired last year or something and make them commentators,
Correct. They and it's kind of easier for basketball players and football players because they actually play the sport.
Right.
You get biased commentary from dudes that never threw a punch, so it's a little harder to respect
exactly
some of the things that come out their mouth. And then the ones that you do get, like the Timothy Bradley, he's so vested into the company that he just say some of the most outlandish stuff I ever heard. But it's like,
Yeah. And look how long he's been out. That's what I'm saying. Get some guys that like Sean Porter or Thurman. Put them on the ESPN and the big networks. Like, this new network coming in. Get somebody like that. They haven't been out that long,
I would love to hear somebody like Gary call a fight. Gary and Keith, as much as they talk, they still know their shit, man.
Yes, they do.
Keith Thurman would be a good one for me.
Yeah.
For me, it's not necessarily like the age of the people doing the commentary. It's when you're calling stuff that ain't there. And like Remo just said about Tim Bradley. Because Tim Bradley ain't that old. Tim Bradley's like probably in his late 30s. Andre Ward is still
not that old.
But these guys just retired so young, it feels like they're old.
Right. But, that's it.
Tim Bradley, it's what Remo said. Him being so invested in
company
whoever
man.
The house is pushing. Yeah, he is the very definition of company man.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where he can't give other guys props. Like I was watching the Pro Box interview, well, not an interview, but a segment they did the other day where it was Paulie, Sean Porter, and Tim Bradley. And Tim Bradley looked like he was burning up on the inside when Paulie Maldonado was giving Tim props. It's like he just couldn't stand to see it. It's like whatever personal issues you have with that man, or if he's on the other side of the street, or whatever it is, it's like you should at least be able to be objective enough,
right,
to just at least give the man his props. But instead, you sitting there talking about he's not that good and he's about to get exposed by everybody and so on and so forth. And you hoping this person knocks him out and that person knocks him out. Like, stuff like that is whack to me, man.
Yeah, he should never commentate a fight that he's in.
And let me say this. The nostalgia for HBO Sports, it has nothing to do with the fact that it's old. Or, because I don't just look at it like it's old as gold and vintage and this, that, and the third. But if you actually go back and watch some of those HBO broadcasts, like there's a channel on YouTube called Beyond the Ropes, if I'm not mistaken, where they have all of these HBO sports segments when Jim Lampley and all of these guys were still young. Even when Larry Merchant still had brown hair, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But the thing that they did was they had a whole lot of features, a whole lot of interviews, so where you could be invested in the fighters. That's what's missing today. You gotta have more stuff like that.
You're talking about the format. The format of the
format. The format is more important to me than the personalities themselves. Now, the personalities to me is like that's the icing on the cake. If you already got a sundae, you throw the cherry on top. That's what it is. Even with basketball back in the day, remember we used to watch NBC Inside Stuff, and they used to have Ahmad Rashad doing all of these interviews and stuff with these players, where you be seeing behind the scenes stuff. It wasn't always basketball related. I remember watching a special that he did one day where he was just hanging out with Michael Jordan for a day, and they played football, they played golf, and they did this, they did that. Yeah. They had McDonald's, like all types of stuff.
Yeah, Ahmad had those relationships, Yeah, he was great for that. Yeah, he fit that role perfectly. You just got to find the right person.
Perfect word, Remo. The format. We need the format. We need like what Steven Jackson is doing with Fight Town. Like they got to do more of that. Just keep doing more of it.
Programming.
Because in addition to the stars, right, we also have to care somewhat about their opponents. Because what happens sometimes is these guys will be fighting against a quality opponent, but because they don't have much notoriety, we're looking at them like they're bums and they're scrubs. Somebody was mentioning the Pedraza fight the other day. Pedraza was the champ when Tank fought him, and Tank was actually ranked number 8 in the division. Now, typically, the number 8 guy is not somebody of that stature in terms of celebrity and notoriety. But he had more notoriety than Pedraza, but Pedraza was the champion, and he was only number 8. So now that it's reversed, and he's near the top of the division, we gotta care about the number 8 guy, the number 10 guy, whoever's in the top 10, top 20. We should be knowing about these guys way before they get in the ring with these dudes. Because then now it seems like these guys just popped up, and you look at the ranking, you're like, damn, he was ranked number 6 in the IBF. How come I never heard of him? This dude was ranked number 8 in the WBA. How come I never heard of him? This guy was the mandatory for the WBC. How come I never heard of this guy? We gotta care about those guys too.
I asked that because with Prime, with Amazon or whichever one is going to be the basis of it, they make original programming as well. So I wonder how much of that funding is going to be placed on boxing as well, or it's just the sport, the coverage of the sport. Are they going to be telling backstories, things like that?
Yeah. But like you were saying, and you were saying the programming, right? Like the example with Ahmad Rashad and what's the other guy, Steven
Jackson?
Yeah. If you're gonna do segments like that, the host makes a difference now, because like you said, Michael Jordan, Ahmad Rashad, he wouldn't have opened up to anybody like he did all those things with Ahmad Rashad.
Absolutely.
So the host does make a difference.
I think it's definitely got to be somebody. I definitely think that it's got to be somebody of quality, but I don't feel like it has to be somebody of a specific stature, like right out the gate. It can be somebody that they build up over time, and we get to know him as that guy.
Right.
The same way we've grown to know and to appreciate Brian Custer. The same way we've gotten to know and appreciate. Who's another guy that we had like that? That was like that.
I really like that.
We know some of these
I like
guys,
that MMA
Joe
guy.
Tessitore, Steve Farhart. You know what I mean? But we know these guys now.
Right.
Whether we like them or not, we know them. We know what they do. And
I saw Brian Custer doing a college football game a couple weeks ago.
Well, he works for CBS though.
Oh, really?
He works for CBS Sports.
Yeah, because he was on one of those networks. It probably was them doing a college football game about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
I had never seen him.
Yeah, he's across the border journalist. Like,
and
he's
he did
really
okay
good.
too.
He's
The
really
terminology and everything. Yeah, he did a real good job.
But he's been around for a long time in that role. He took some time off with the cancer that he had and stuff like that.
Yeah. Very talented.
Basketball, we have my guy, R.I.P. to the great Stuart Scott, Ernie Johnson. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah. Maybe
we need people like that too.
Yeah.
I think in boxing is such a type of sport where these guys are so moody as well. Like, it got to be somebody that they respect. Not they got to respect them enough not to disrespect them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even when the tough questions are there. I don't think they'll play that with Steven Jackson, because he's a little volatile when he's ready.
He would be good.
He always on go, like, you know what I mean? And he wants to be a part of the sport. The problem is that the hardcore fans of boxing, they don't like new faces. And they were giving Steven Jackson shit because it was all, this guy don't know nothing, but he has a respect to get in certain doors and earn the respect of these fighters, which makes a big difference.
Yeah, it's got to be somebody they respect.
Because these dudes start cutting weight and they start getting so aggy, and it's like, all right, young fella, like, take it easy. I'll check you on it, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
And I think promotional wise, the outlets has changed as well, because everybody used to either go to a Breakfast Club or what's the other, Hot 97, and those outlets, even in New York City, they don't mean anything no more. Like that type of vibe is I don't know. When's the last time you turned on Hot 97, Ed?
Ooh, that's a good question. That's a good question.
We don't. It doesn't carry that same feeling of New York anymore. Like right now, even in sports, we might check out a Stephen A. Smith or the other guy, Skip Bayless. But to us, they old heads. Like, we don't really want to hear their view when they got people. They got JJ Reddicks and they got, you know what I mean, these other cats that actually play through the game, breaking down the sport in a whole different way. Gilbert Arenas is like, you know what I mean? It's just different.
Yeah, that was a good move when Skip got Michael Irving and Keyshawn and what's the other guy?
Richard Sherman.
Richard Sherman, yeah. I like that. I like that show.
But now he's on a show. He's on his own show as an outsider because they don't respect him because he ain't never played a damn sport.
That's true. But he usually give them their space too, you know. Yeah.
I think the other thing with that though is it's the way in which that he criticizes players for certain things. I feel like if you do it in a respectful manner, right, and you're just talking about just the X's and O's and things of that sort, and you clearly study. That's the other part too. I don't necessarily feel like you had to have done it to give good commentary or analysis, but it's just about just doing it in a way in which it's sound and it's fair. And that's where some of these guys get carried away with their analysis. Some of these guys who haven't done it. Because they're just extremists with their opinions, and everything is just so analytic driven and so number driven that they disregard some of the other components of it, like the mental and the emotional. You know what I mean? Like everything that it takes. So yeah, these guys just got to just study a little bit more. Some of these guys who haven't done it, so they actually know what the hell that they're talking about.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yep.
I think the announcement and the rollout is gonna be big though.
What'd you say? Say that again, Remo?
The actual rollout and the announcement, I think it's gonna be big. The way they present it. Because they went after football. They got segments of basketball. You know, if they could get there, they might be trying to compete with ESPN or, you know what I'm saying? As far as subscription base.
I haven't been watching the Thursday night games. The Prime still do those? The NFL Thursday night? I know they did last season.
Yeah,
I haven't even been watching them this year. Do they?
Yeah, because it's not on regular TV anymore.
The first one I watched was last week when the Ravens played. I can't even remember what channel they was on, what network they was on. I just know that I watched it because it was the Ravens. That's the first one I watched all season.
Yeah, but I think they're trying to make a claim in the game, and this, you know, they got the money to do it, the funding to do it.
Yeah.
I just want them to do it right, like
right. Yeah.
Visually, aesthetically pleasing. Take everything that failed out, and you know, just modernize it. Because I was looking at an old Broner fight the other day. Even the way PBC has elevated the visual aesthetics from like an old Broner fight to current, the logo don't look the same. Everything looks like the camera angles change. It's just different.
And have some fights during the week, you know, weekday fight.
I would love them to invest in that OTX boxing, the overtime boxing, as the grassroots. Imagine fireworks or steam or whatever going off, knowing that there's a 13th round coming in because the fight is too close and we don't want to draw. Kids would love that.
Yeah.
But nobody knows about OTX right now. But I think it's perfect for so you can see people like Lorenzo Truck Simpsons and Nia Killer
I
B,
know.
and like those are the places where you don't want to put these guys on the main stage yet, but they can still sell out a ballroom, but give it a different
Yes,
look.
they can.
Like, I haven't seen this kid promote Moten fight yet.
Me neither. I thought we was gonna see him Saturday, but they didn't show him.
Yeah, but you could showcase, if you have a grassroots program, you can have the Keyshawn's as your main guy. Because Keyshawn's not ready to headline anything yet, per se. Like, as far as like the mainstream. But you put him in a smaller arena, he'll sell out wherever they put him. Why not?
Yeah.
In Austin, keep him busy, something like that. And it don't have to be just is generated to a golden boy or whatever. Like, you trying to get your young guys some fights, we'll help you with promotion, but this is our grassroots program.
Yep. Put them on during the week.
Yeah.
Like Thursday night fights or something.
Thursday would be cool, because people not really doing it.
I like pro box.
I said people don't really do much on Thursday anyway.
I like that pro box on Wednesday, but it's every other week. They could do something like that every week. You wouldn't have to wait until Saturday.
And it's at a reasonable time too, Cass.
Yeah.
It's like it starts at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
It's crazy to where you can't watch it because you got to go to work the next day.
Yeah, got to be up half the night. Yep.
Where do they fight usually? Is it like a certain arena that they always use?
Yeah, it's down there in Florida. They have a
yeah.
small arena. It's similar to what you were saying, like pretty much what your idea was for these fights for fighters like Keyshawn that are on the come up.
Yeah,
they have an arena that probably holds a few thousand people. It's nothing crazy. It's not like the Garden or the Barclays or something like that, but got a nice decent sized crowd in there.
Yeah. You gonna check it out tonight?
Fights aren't super duper long. You know what I mean? Like, you might have a 10 rounder in there, but for the most part,
I'll take a look at it.
6 to 8 rounders.
Yeah, I saw it for the first time the week before last, and I'm like looking forward to it again tonight. Yeah.
It sounds entertaining. For some reason or not, I know Paulie might come off as like narcissistic and racist to people, but he knows his shit though.
Yeah.
He knows his shit. When he talks, he knows his shit.
And the other guy,
Chris Algeri,
they do
a great job with the commentary.
Yes, they do.
They do a great job.
I was
it's
impressed.
Not overly slanted. They just talk
I like
about what's going
Chris.
on in the boxing.
Okay, yeah, I'll check it out. I don't be. What's crazy is I was into basketball heavy because I played it for so long. But then I started, I like learning new shit, and I just caught the bug with this boxing shit. I'm like, yo, my girl, like, all you do is listen to boxing now. Shut up,
Yeah.
Because I don't know it. I don't know everything about it. But when it came to basketball, I was really like, I knew all the X's and O's, I knew the plays and everything. So now learning something new, it's just it's very intriguing.
Me and my wife grew up in boxing together, man.
Oh, nah.
She couldn't get over that last week when that guy pushed that female referee. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah.
In one of those fights, I forgot what fight it was. Oh, it was the Charlo fight, man. That ref was in the way.
Oh man, Harvey Dock.
Yeah, Harvey Dock. He did insert himself a little bit, but to me it seemed like he was trying to save Jose Benavidez.
Yep, that's what he was. I watched it like 4 times in that last round. I still haven't seen nothing for him to stop that fight. That last round.
Yeah, I don't like any referee.
Yeah, you're not supposed to make it about you. That's any sport. It should never be about the refs or the umpires or whatever. If the story in the news the next day is about the refs or the umpires, then they messed up. It's supposed to be about the game.
Absolutely. I was gonna say the same thing. The sign of a good referee is that you don't even notice that they're there.
That's right. And everybody, I heard a lot of talk about Harvey Dock, so he screwed up.
Sorry about that, guys. The wife call. You know how that go.
Which is extremely rare, man, because Harvey Dock, he typically does a really good job. So I'm not gonna hold this one against him because he's typically on point, man.
And that's why I remember the Rolly Barroso fight. It looked so bad on Tony Weeks because he's a very good referee. And for him to make that mistake, stop the fight like that, it looked real shady, man. You know? Because he is a very good referee.
I think even the refs, the judges, they need to reboot that whole thing too. Like some of these refs be so old they really can't get around and see the blind spots. And then
I like Thomas Taylor, the one that did Benavidez and Boo Boo.
That's the real strong white boy.
Yeah.
I like he's pretty fair.
The youngest,
He gave Barrios a chance to really like show that he wasn't hurt.
Mm-hmm.
For him to continue fighting, and he asked him, and then he saved him when he was like, you know what, it's a little too much, but he gave him a shot for doing so.
And remember, he told Boo Boo's corner, "I'm not watching another round like that," and then after he told him that, they stopped it.
Yeah. I don't even like talking about that damn fight, man. It gave me Spence feels, and then I started seeing the pictures side by side, and I said, oh, God damn it.
B3 says, any fights this weekend y'all interested in? Barroso fighting or Hera Davis should be a good one. Yeah, that's a title eliminator too.
I'm interested in this Pro Box card tonight, to be honest with you. Another thing I like about the Pro Box card too, Remo, is kind of like what you were describing with your idea. You got guys that are fighting competition that's relative to their skill level and to their level of development, where they are in their respective careers. Because on a lot of these other platforms, what do we typically see, right? We see the guy that's the blue chip prospect going against some journeyman that they know has no chance whatsoever. It's just a completely lopsided matchmaking, taking place. How often do we see that? Then the guy gets smacked around, gets beat up, and then he gets stopped, and you're like, yo, he had no business being in there with him.
Yeah, in the first place. Yeah.
But that comes from the matchmakers trying to keep that O and preserve that O rather than giving the consumers, which is us, a good product.
Yeah. And most of the time they looking at a potential fight coming up in the future when they do that,
Yep.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, what makes Tank a star isn't that he's an excellent boxer, which he's the great boxer, but one, he's very entertaining, and two, being that he's so small, he captivates the imagination of the audience, because there's no way in hell that any grown man at even our age would say, I'm gonna get my ass beat by a dude that weigh 135 pounds.
Yeah.
Soaking wet. Like, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah, Remo, that's a good point. And he always beating up somebody bigger than him. you know.
So it's like how much of Davis is going to kill a Goliath? Like, it's crazy his last name is Davis, but you know what I'm saying? How much of that is really like what's going to be too much for him? And people buy into it, man.
Yeah. Look at Barrios. What was Barrios about? 6'1"?
Yeah, they don't really update on box records. They only update the what you call it. They only really update the fights, but they don't update your height and your reach and all of that other
shit. Never do. Don't seem like it.
Yeah. So it's like, man,
it's inaccurate. It's inaccurate a lot of times, man. It's very inaccurate. I was looking at certain things, and I'm like, man, that just don't match up. I can't remember who I was just watching recently, but I was like, he definitely look a little bit taller than what they got him on box rec. And then another guy's like, his arms don't look that long. Some guys, they don't even have their reach up there whatsoever.
They don't even have it on there yet. Nope. They sure don't. I saw somebody like that yesterday.
I don't give a damn how small Tank is. He ain't hitting my ass.
I think it was Duarte. They had just like a dash by his reach or something. Yeah.
That you said B3 asked that question. That fight intrigues me. I don't really know much about the dude except for y'all saying that he's a puncher. Like, you know.
Who, Duarte?
Yeah. So it's like
he can punch and he's active. He's got a good motor on him.
Yeah.
I think that can be taken advantage of. Like I said to OG the other day, I feel like it's a good match in a sense that he presents a certain level of danger to where he's gonna keep Ryan on, right? But I do feel as though he's got enough to exploit to where Ryan should be able to beat him. Yeah, he should get him. But even Duarte, it feels like they kind of padded his record just a little bit. Because I looked at Duarte's record, he fought quite a few guys that have losing records.
I know.
A lot of overmatched guys.
His resume is terrible. Because you know he got 11 straight knockouts, right? But look at who it's against. I didn't recognize not one name.
Exactly.
11 straight knockouts. Not one.
I want to know how much guts Ryan got. As far as like he showed getting up off the canvas, but like when you get, I guess it's called stop. He took a knee, whatever. I just want to see how much he got left in him to say, like, you know, I want to get to the top of the hill and I'm gonna do what I promised the public. I've been speaking out loud. That's
talking about Ryan?
Yeah, that's why I'm more intrigued than anything. I want to see if the talk is going to lead to actual showing something.
Yeah, everybody waiting to see him under Derrick James, you know, just to see.
Like the whole Derrick James thing, the whole marriage of Derrick James is cool.
Yeah.
It's a cool narrative.
Yeah, that's what it is, yeah. That's what it is.
I still want to see you be what... matter of fact, let me stop bullshit. I'm just tired of everybody championing these fighters before they actually really fought their damn body.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's been my major issue. It's like these dudes has been claimed to be this since the amateurs.
No.
Now show me.
Like there's no such thing as potential. They just put them right there. You know, they don't say they got the potential, that they're a superstar all of a sudden, you know.
Because you know what happened? Regardless if they perform or not, and y'all can attest it, the damn money come out the account when it comes to the subscriptions or if you purchase the fight. You can't get that back for a bad fight.
They're gonna get it. Yep.
They're gonna get their money, regardless whether they sink or swim.
Right. You gotta pay for it.
I don't know, man. I just don't like championing people because they have this time I'm out of champion or that time I'm out of champion. But he ain't fight no damn body. Like
it's all about money.
How
potential matchups, you know.
Loma,
trying to set it up.
How can Loma be fighting Kambosos for a vacant? And they got fighters in between that ain't got no losses.
And Kambosos got beaten his last fight, I thought Maxie Hughes beat him.
He arguably could have lost his last 5. Well, except for Tio. But other than that, he had a
fight. Even that Tio fight was very close, man. I think that I think that fight with Tio, it was a little bit more shocking because the expectation was that Tio was just gonna get him up out of there.
Spark him out. Yeah, spark him out.
Right.
Because you remember, Kambosos got dropped in that fight too. He was all busted up. He was bloody and everything.
Sure did.
Oftentimes we talk about that fight with Tio like it was just this one-sided, unrequited beatdown, but that wasn't the case. Kambosos was in there getting his ass whooped too. He just performed better than we expected.
Yeah, I think Tio was really hurt for real because it looked like he walked in there trying to like rush the seasoning before everything was fully cooked to try to get him out of there because he was probably dealing with some shit. I never seen him do that. Just walk somebody
he just rushed right in.
Yeah, I'm looking at like, yo, what's up with that? And then it just started going left for him. I was like, oh, what's going on here?
What's up, Mike Rhyme? Mike Rhyme in the building. B3 says Ryan gonna get him between 1 and 6.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go home and look at some of this guy because I really can't speak on him.
I said 7 to 10. 7 to 10.
I got a little video already chopped up, Remo. I'll upload it to Daily Motion and then I'll send it to you.
Okay, perfect.
Where it's broken down, like what he does well, what he don't do well, and shit like that.
Yeah, I'll check that out because I could say what I've been seeing with Derek. Derek, when he gets fighters, he likes them to be a little strategic with their approach. Not really like bang. I don't know if that's to people's advantages or disadvantages, and that's still up in the air for me personally. But
4 more likes, I break my record again. 4 more likes. 21 is the record. I got 18.
But I don't know. I don't know if Ryan's gonna. Even the approach is for Ryan to go out there and to spark him out if he could spark him out. You know, Derek might tell him, like, you know, get some rounds in and put some of the gym work to use.
You know, if Duarte wins a close decision, you know he ain't getting it.
Oh, no.
You already know that.
If he actually putting in some work, yeah, he ain't gonna give him that.
No way.
Can't mess with the money, man. Can't mess with the money.
So, I don't know. He got to come up with a knockout if he wants it.
And now, if Ryan puts it together now, where he looks phenomenal as far as technique-wise, and then he still has the same speed and pop,
yeah,
it might be scary hours for the 40 division. I just want to see if he's nervous to get hit again.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I don't think he will be. No,
I don't think he will be because
even after that fight with Luke Campbell when he got dropped. Because I'll say this, man. All of these guys have been in there with some formidable guys. It's not like Brian's been in there with a whole bunch of nobodies. There's some guys where you could say, yeah, when he caught him, like Fortuna was a pretty damn good fighter. Prior to going to 140, you could say he's probably a little bit too small for 140. He was blown up at that weight, but he's a damn good fighter in his own right.
Yeah, but
wasn't at the peak of his powers. Wasn't at the peak of his powers when he fought Ryan, but you know it's a good name to have. Luke Campbell was a Olympic medalist. Really,
Ryan got some good names on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
What's his name was just in there with what's my guy's name? He was in there with Frank Martin not too long ago. Romero Duno's a solid name.
Yeah.
Ryan actually had some pretty good rounds against Tank too. I want to say the 4th and the 5th. He did a really good job using his right hand. I think the problem with him was just the impatience. Tank did a tremendous job of staying patient and waiting for that opening, and when he did, he completely exploited it. And then also, I think that Tank just had a little bit more seasoning with the way in which he was using that lead hand control. Like Ryan is just a little bit more straight up and down, where Tank is just a lot more crafty than what he's given credit for. So, I mean, he's been in there with some quality opponents. We know that he's got the amateur background and everything. So, I agree, Remo. If he can tighten up with certain things, be a little bit more patient, learn how to really use his speed, learn how to set up his left hook as opposed to just firing it. Because that left hook is crisp. He's got a damn good left hook. He's got the hand speed. He's got the power. It's just a matter of, like I was saying before, Cass, like not throwing everything with the same speed, same velocity, same intensity, knowing how to layer his offense. I think like when Ryan starts to get that down pat, it could be very, very, very scary for a lot of dudes.
Yeah, dangerous.
But he's got all of the attributes.
Yeah.
All of the attributes. It's just a matter of refinement with him.
That's all.
Just small things with his footwork too. Like I think he gets his footwork just a little bit better to where he's not smothering himself. But I was noticing in that fight against Tago, there were quite a few times where he got Tago to the ropes, but he wasn't able to maximize his leverage because he was smothering himself.
Yeah.
Take a few steps back and boom, just get back to work. Man, Ryan's got all the attributes to be a really good fighter. He really does.
Yeah. Rubo was right. He could be dangerous for 140 if he gets it all together. You know.
I don't know if he fights with his height though. That's one of the reserves that I do have for him.
Right, that his
like
height.
He should have a nice long jab. He's a tall guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that. And then when he gets close, like Ian was saying, he doesn't figure out the separation. But if he gets the separation, he takes a step back. Now his hand can extend to that left hook that he needs. But if he fights too small, he doesn't get an extension on it because it's not a traditional hook. It's kind of like a whipping hook.
Yeah.
Tank was touching that hand where on the whipping hook, his hand was kind of bending. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you're not getting
that's his front hand hook, right? Yeah. We were just talking about earlier. Left hook, right?
Yeah.
With his lead hand, yeah.
But it's kind of crazy.
The most powerful hook is with the rear hand, I think. With the backhand.
Yeah, typically.
Yeah.
But that's always a great weapon to have, man. If you're an orthodox fighter, you can throw your left hand well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That is true.
I find it interesting that we say that he's so fast, but Tank said he was slow. So I wonder how fast Tank really was.
There's something. He didn't seem that fast to me.
That's what
his hand speed looked good to me. But again, I think with Tank, you know, when you got the vision that he has, when you watch Tank fight and you just see how he never takes his eyes off the other guy, his eyes are always on his opponent.
Yep.
He's got good vision. He's got good balance.
Wide open.
He's a little bit understated when it comes to spatial awareness. That's something that we typically attribute to Shakur Stevenson. Like, yo, he's good at managing distance. Tank is really good at that as well. He does it in a different way. But also, again, like lead hand control. If you can control the other guy's lead hand and you know that he wants to use it, you know, you're able to mitigate a lot of that. Like the great Teddy Atlas always says, timing beats speed. You know what I mean? And if I can see what you're about to throw, I know what you're gonna throw, I'm able to time it. Both defensively and also offensively if I decide that I want to counter. So, you know, he does a great job with that.
Yeah. Remo, he's usually good at this kind of stuff. B3 wants to know, are Dab and Regis doing a good job selling their fight? Is anything you think they could be doing better?
No, I think that's why Devin told him, don't worry about this, but let the big boys handle this. Because see, Devin dropped his own promo. He didn't wait for the zone or anybody to really put out the episode. He put out his own episode, and I say that Devin said that because he was able to use some of the footage that, you know, typically you're not allowed to use if it's, you know, if it's owned by the promotional company. They usually own the right. They usually own the right to those, to that footage. But Devin probably, you know, in the paperwork allotted himself, like, I'm my own promoter. I need this footage. So I think they're doing a decent job because
I think so.
He's doing his promos with, you know, the terrestrial radios, but you also seeing him with the I Am Athletes, and they put I
love those things.
Just different things. Like,
you know the thing Jay showed. You know the thing Jay showed where they were sitting there with the guy, both of them face to face, and the guy in between them. I love when they do those things. They should do those more.
It's a more modern, new approach. I like it.
They should do those more. All big fights should have that. You know.
Definitely. I would love to have seen Ryan sit across from Tank and do something like that. You know, because they kind of did it on FaceTime, but imagine being in the same room.
Right. Yeah. They did it on their own on FaceTime, you know, but under that format like Regis and Devin was, that would be fire. Earl and Bud doing that. All the big fights should do that. You know?
I had to say I had to stop hating on Devin with certain things. Like, you know, I know he's not Tank, but other than other than Tank, realistically, he's the only one with numbers, regardless of what numbers they are. If they're not, filling the belly of, the biggest promoters to make the biggest fight, no other fighter in at the 130 to 140 has numbers that can reflect what Devin has been able to present.
Yeah.
Or the accolades as well. So if he doesn't have the viewership that Tank does, he has no accolades. So he's doing what he needs to do.
Okay.
He's doing what he needs to do because Regis is not rookie. Yeah, that'll do.
No.
What do you think the numbers would be for that? Honestly.
Devin and Regis?
Yeah.
Let me think. Oh man, what did Devin and Loma do?
I think it did like 150, something like that.
150. Him and Regis might do between 2 and 3.
All right, boom. Let's say 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Prior to Tank and Ryan, 2 something, almost 3 was Tank versus who? Rolly maybe or Pitbull?
Pitbull didn't do bad, because that Mexican.
Yeah, so that's not a bad range.
No.
Like for Devin, that would be kind of a win, to be honest.
Yeah, I think they can do it.
They should.
Because,
it'd be, those numbers would show it'd be more a testament to Devin, because Devin's only been the one that's been on pay-per-view so far. Devin's the only one, because Regis has never been, whether he's a champion or not.
Yeah.
And Regis not really a talker per se. You know what I mean?
Yeah, more credit would definitely go to Devin. Yeah, I think so.
And now when he comes to the table, regardless of what the percentage might be, his name holds more value to Tank than Shakur or Frank Martin.
Oh yeah.
Like he's putting himself in a decent position to where something can be offered and the dying public will want it. And now almost 200 and something thousand people guaranteed would check out Haney. So that's half the battle won.
He'd do that and have a good performance and win. We get him in Tank next year.
Yeah, if nobody shits the bed or if Regis don't upset the apple cart on this one.
Right. That's what I'm saying, yeah. He could.
What do you think, Ed? You think they doing good with promotion for this?
I think they're doing a much better job. I gotta say, because DAZN, they just put out another piece of content today that off the cuff. They had the face off already. Then they did the off the cuff. They had another thing that they did. So they're doing a pretty good job with this one, DAZN. And to your point, Remo, I got to give Devin himself a lot of credit too. He's taking a page out of Ryan Garcia.
Dog barking.
Dog started wilding out. Had to choke him out real quick.
But the dog had got and the dog barking and then he stopped talking. I said,
No. That dog don't play with me, man. He showed his teeth at me one time when I wrestled his ass down to the floor. He ain't growl at me.
Yeah.
He don't know you been working out with Tampa Tommy? Choke the damn dog out.
Oh yeah.
Nah, he don't play that with me no more, man. Now he see me, he put his head down. I feel bad because I took the dog out the dog, but like, you ain't about to be showing your teeth at me. But in any event, Devin, man, I seen he did more content himself too. And I looked today, he just posted last night, he's already got over 75,000 views on the content that he just posted up. So he's getting his media game together, man, for sure. And he's making his rounds too, independent of whatever's going on with the zone. So Devin's doing a tremendous job. These guys got to keep doing this. I know Richardson Hitchens started the channel recently too. Got to keep promoting. Got to keep putting this content out. Content is king.
Yes, it is.
Is Ryan the king of that? Like, did he make that famous? Because they clowned him for it, but like.
But now these guys are taking a page out of his book. Yeah, absolutely. It reminds me of like 50 Cent and Ja Rule. 50 was clowning Ja Rule for singing on records, then he came on. Soon as Ja Rule faded out, then he stepped in and it's 21 Questions and Candy Shop and all that. That's what these guys are doing to Ryan, you know what I'm saying?
Yep, they was clowning Ryan. What was they calling him, Remo? Calling Ryan the what? The social media fighter or something?
YouTube boxer, social media fighter, all that.
Now look at him. Look at him now.
Man, I made 30. Everybody started the channel now.
Yeah, now everybody want to be the social media fighter.
That's a fact.
But as they should though. They should be looking to do that, man. Because your promotional company ain't doing it. You got to promote yourself. Remo been screaming this for months now, man. Y'all got to get y'all got to get it together. A lot of the youth, man. Not even just the youth. Look at us. Look at our age. Our ages. You got people that's in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. We on here talking on this. We on here right now. Talking through this medium. So everybody's on it. You got to meet people where they are.
That's right. That's right.
I also think Bill does a great he does great for promotion of this fight because he's willing to hit the grassroots level. I wouldn't even say lower tier media. He hits the hardcore fan base at their eye level, I would say. Because, you know,
and Bill don't mind the villain role part of it either, you know.
Yeah, he'll jump in the fire and then he'll dance around, but he'll sit there in the fire.
He'll embrace it, you know. Yeah.
He's really an agitator. That's what he's really good at. He agitates the crowd.
That's a good word.
Yeah, to hate what he's doing, but appreciate and love it at the same time because he keeps them coming.
Agitator is a perfect word for him. I didn't never think about that, but
because he'll sit there and he'll say such and such the greatest boxing show in the morning.
Don't knock him the blank out.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, you intrigued to see whether he's, you know for a fact that he's really not going to knock nobody out. But it's like, you know, I want to see his son lose now. That motherfucker always told me shit. I want him gone. But
Bill know the buttons to push, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you gotta appreciate him, you know? Yeah. Don't have to like him, but you gotta appreciate him.
I would love to hear Bill. Because Bill, besides being an asshole from time to time, he knows his shit too. Yeah. I would love to hear him. I would love to hear him call a fight. Ringside.
Oh man. Yeah. KC, I like it. It's like you listen to the radio when KC calls. You know,
radio. It sounds like when I'm listening to my grandfather's speaker box. I love him.
He hits every detail, man. He don't miss nothing.
And then he go, wow. That's
he took a step back. Now he steps back and 11.
Yeah. That's entertaining right there. Because you don't really get that from. Because even when you listen to fights, there's a lot of quiet moments in even every channel. You don't really get a play-by-play pause, blow-by-blow type of commentary. And Abner Morris is terrible. He's terrible. He's so biased. He's so biased. Because he made a statement a couple fights. He said, you know, because Tank runs out of gas and he hasn't been in shape and he can't fight off his back foot. But when you look at that Pedraza fight, Tank spent a lot of time on the back foot. Especially when Pedraza felt as though he wanted to go back and forth with him with the woo. When he started doing that, he found himself.
Go ahead, Remo.
He found himself defensively turning it into offense. So for him to say consistently several fights back, because you know Tank Davis is not good at fighting on the back foot. I'm like, where did he get this from?
Oh no. What's the guy named that was on for Abner, the other commentator?
I agree 1000%. Because I was listening to that same commentary and I was thinking to myself, like, what the heck is this dude talking about? And then the other thing too that just like really stunned me when I was listening to that broadcast was when he was talking about, you know, Tank isn't typically like a counterpuncher. I'm like, Tank and counterpunching go hand in hand. He's synonymous with counterpunching. Like where the heck do you see him not counterpunching?
And he's turned into that more as he's gotten older. Because a lot of his earlier fights, he was going in there just like kind of sparking dudes out. But he takes his time, he finds his spots, and he doesn't throw a lot. But like he says, he wants to touch you when you know I'm gonna touch you with something good, where it's gonna rattle you. Like he waits and picks his moments, and they don't want to give him credit for that shit.
What's that guy's name that's on there with Abner Morris? The other guy that does like the color commentary. I think he's pretty good. I think he kind of calls it like it is. No, I can't think of his name. Not the play-by-play guy. It's another guy, older guy. I think he calls it pretty straight.
They gotta find.
You're not talking about Al Bernstein, are you?
Is that his name?
It might be. Yeah, it might be.
I might not be on the right channel, right network. Oh man.
They gotta fire whoever does the unofficial scorecard. That guy is always wrong.
ESPN.
Steve Farhood. Yeah, Steve Farhood.
He's terrible. His scorecard
is
always wrong.
Man. Steve Farhood is on Showtime, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, he's on Showtime. I used to love Harold Letterman though, because every time he would give his scorecard, he would always talk to Jim Lampley first. But okay, Jim.
Mm-hmm.
Every time, that's how you know he's about to give that scorecard. Okay, Jim.
Steve Farhood is usually off, but I thought he had the Hector and Lamont Roach fight right last week. He had it 116, 111, I think, something like that. I thought the other judges had it too close. The real judges, like 114, 130. One gave it to Hector. Tim will cheat him.
Because them dudes can't see. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's his name, Tim Cheatham. That's a hell of a name for a judge, ain't it? Tim Cheatham. Man. Now, if Lamar Roach hadn't got that last knockdown, it would have been he might have lost.
Yeah,
go ahead. What are you saying?
I said Remo made a great point. He said them guys can't see, and I think that is the case, because you're at a fixed vantage point. At home, we got the benefit of seeing the fight from a different angle.
That's true.
From multiple angles, and also being able to see the replays and stuff.
Yeah, they don't get all that.
Yeah, so these guys, they're at a fixed vantage point. So sometimes they're not seeing what punches are and aren't landing.
Yeah.
And they're heavily influenced by the crowd too. Guys are throwing punches, and then nothing landed, but they had the crowd react.
People yelling. Yeah.
You think they need to adjust the way that the referees are placed in as far as give them like the height of what is it? Not golf. Tennis. See how they be like elevated some?
I wouldn't be mad at that. If they could figure out a way to do it, I wouldn't be mad at that.
Elevated view.
A lot of times I'm not really mad at the refs. It's just like with the commentary and also with the judges. The judges, they got to be somewhere where. Or maybe
the refs
do in other sports. Other sports, they have replay centers, and you got people that are at headquarters, and they're able to look at things whenever they need to resort to that.
Everything except boxing.
Yeah,
I wouldn't trust no damn replay center. Replay center call you, like, listen, man, I got your wife tied up, man. You better score it how we need it, all right, brother?
Saying it's corrupt out there.
I think it's crazy. Out there, but they really can't get into that because mob ties and all of that other stuff. But when you got guys like Tank, you don't really leave it to the judges. So you can't really corrupt what the public could see.
Nope. Yep. You can't corrupt it when the guy's standing over there sitting on the stool saying he can't see.
Yeah.
The judges can't do nothing about that.
Well, I think Amazon shit. They seem like they got enough young inspired people to like, even like the way that their app is presented and everything like that. It flows fluent enough. I just want to be able to find it and see it and not have to hunt it. Because ESPN, I don't give a damn if it's the world leader in sports. To get boxing, it's so goddamn hard to find boxing on that damn app.
Do ESPN?
I can't disagree one bit, man.
Like the actual app itself?
I can't disagree one bit. Yeah. Because I tried a couple of times to find stuff on there, and I'm like, damn, you got to scroll all the way to the bottom, bro. It's like,
yeah,
it's crazy.
To find it. It's difficult. It's difficult.
Hassle.
Yeah. Like the purpose of apps is to make life easier. Like back in the day, you have to scroll through all the channels or damn near memorize the channels that you love. or have it written on the back of your remote control, the number or something like that. But now it's like, I should be able to click something or save something where I'm going directly to the link of the sport.
I used to have a sheet of paper right beside the remote with the channel written on it.
See, I know that because my grandmother used to do that shit.
Yeah.
Then they started having those little magnets that they used to have too, like through like the cable company, where it would have all the channels on it.
Oh yeah. I do remember that. But like big
I used to
fights,
always revert to that whenever I need to find a channel. I'm like, what channel is this?
Like I wouldn't mind if like you see how like they do it like WrestleMania and stuff like that. They bring the old commentators out, or give them a segment where they're talking to a boxer to give you that feeling of the hardcore community who are really like older than the casuals, but they want what they want out of it as well. So I wouldn't mind some of that as well, like the enjoyment of the the nostalgic feeling, but then keep it entertaining throughout the show.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a little bit of music if you want to give me some music, some dances, whatever it might be. But keep it entertaining through and through. And I don't think anybody be upset paying at $85.
No, not at all. But I feel like with the nostalgic thing is this. The nostalgia doesn't just come from the fact that it's old. It's just that they had so much quality programming. I got to send you this channel so you can check it out, Remo, on Beyond the Ropes. And just the amount of information that they presented us about different fighters, like what they were going through at the moment psychologically, what camp was like.
Yeah.
Like HBO did a terrific job with all of that stuff. And then
like they shouldn't be showing. This
content's not the same, bro. It's just not the same.
Yeah, like why would they be showing the All Access right before the fight starts? I don't want to see this shit. I done watched it already. Like give me something new that I haven't. That's not gonna allow me to turn away from the TV.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You're giving me older programming during the segment that I paid for. I already got this for free.
Right. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah. I think Eddie Hearn does a decent job as well, because I seen him in Flatbush with Richardson Hitchens, kind of introducing him to the lineup of the Zone when he first came over. Just needed to continue a little bit more, but I think Eddie does well with his fighters and promoting them, getting them an eye in public. I think Top Rank is probably the worst.
Yeah, Top Rank.
I don't know anything about their fighters. I don't know nothing about Big Baby, and he's supposed to be the next American young heavyweight, and we know nothing about that guy.
Mm-mm. Top Rank is good at signing the talent, but then when they sign it, after that, they don't do anything with them.
You know what? Top Rank is the grassroots of boxing. They get all the name talent out of the amateurs, and they groom them, and they pad the stats, and then when it's time to make the big fights, they lose them over the PBC, and that's disgusting.
Yeah.
I actually think they should get. I wish De La Hoya go bankrupt, because I think he's the worst promoter in boxing.
Oh man. Like Jay called him, the Golden Boy Protection Company.
He's terrible, man. And he's so selfish that, I feel like he signed a female, and she said she never met him. I forgot her name. She left him though, but she said he's never come to her fights. He's never even met her.
And he's supposed to be promoting her.
That's what she was thinking. And what's crazy was I forget the female's name. I gotta look that up later. But she used to idolize him, which hurt her worse.
Okay.
So it's like your idol. Sometimes you meet your idols, and they always say like your idols always disappoint you.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with Oscar. She was disappointed to the point was like he did nothing for me because he was never around. You know?
That sounds like Oscar. Look what he did to Ryan after the tank fight.
Yeah, but Oscar's like back then. Oscar was Oscar and it was Derek Jeter. Like those were the two. Like you know what I mean, the little sexy boy symbol. That's what the ladies love.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why Ryan kind of sells to that market as well. He's a handsome guy who's marketable outside of the ring as well. Not saying he got to wear pantyhose and stuff like that, but you know, why not? But why not continue what was marketed for you or work for you with your fighters?
Fact, you're making another great point, Remo. And you would think that somebody who experienced the type of success and fanfare that Oscar De La Hoya did, that he would understand a lot better how to promote and market his guys, because he was probably the most marketable guy in the 90s.
Yep.
Of like any sport. Like you said, it's like Derek Jeter, there's Michael Jordan, you have Mike Tyson, and Oscar De La Hoya was like right there.
Yeah. Olympic gold medalist, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And the only thing that he's different from those names that you named is Oscar was Spanish, but he looked white. He gave a white look and appeal to him that
he had that
was
look,
the look of the 90s. Like the Sports Illustrated guy wasn't Michael Jordan. Like, you know what I'm saying? Aside from him being in his jersey.
Yeah.
That was the look. And he was
that look they was looking for. Yep.
Yeah. And you know, and Ryan is that. Like Tank, I'm not saying Tank is not an ugly guy, but he's a rough cut that kind of, you know, people shun away or might be scared of him off of looks and appeal alone. Because they think, you know, he's from the inner city. He's got a lot of tattoos, the braids now. Like,
and the history too, Remo, you know.
Exactly. People step away from that. People with
got out of jail.
It's hard for a brand to stand besides him that's not from the culture that he's from. But Ryan, he has Gatorade. I just seen him with a workout, some kind of endorsement of like a fitness brand. He was with Hummer. He's next to Damian Lillard. Like he's in places, in rooms where Oscar, it benefits for you to stand next to this young kid. Not push him away. But would you say, because people say that, you know, Floyd is so arrogant and Floyd likes the spotlight. What makes Oscar any different from Floyd? You know?
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know why he don't get that label.
Because Canelo stepped away from Oscar, and see, he's a terrible person. He's terrible. He doesn't trust him. He's like nothing about him is honest. And this is coming from somebody who was his breadwinner. So you leaving bad taste in your mouth, in people's mouths that, you know, you could have been making so much more money with. Canelo didn't have to leave.
Remo, did you see Canelo on the Breakfast Club? Oh man, he talked about Oscar bad. Oh, you saw that? Oh man.
He said he's fake.
I was surprised he talked about him like that. I was like, wow, he going all in on it.
Man, listen.
But they kind of took it out of him.
English speaking Canelo, he's a great interview these days.
Yeah.
Because he's been around everything, you know. Even when he was talking shit about Ryan, he was trying not to go too far because Ryan is young.
Yeah.
But he wanted him to be more focused on the craft, you know. And I think Ryan's issue, what he might be focused on now, is gaining the respect that should have been garnished from his amateur record. You see how like Shakur is loved because of what he did in the amateurs and all of that. Ryan has just as much amateur fights and all of that shit.
Yeah.
It's just that he was loved so fast and revered as a star because of looks.
He fought Shakur and Devin in the amateurs.
Yeah, he fought a lot of them cats.
Yes, he did.
I was like, his time is, if he gets it together, I think he has enough skills. And Saturday is, the beginning of swim or sink.
Is he gonna fumble like Shakur did?
I don't know if it's fumbling, because I think Shakur talked it up to the point where you would expect him to be the next big thing. Yeah. I think people are checking to see what's left in Ryan's tank. Because I wouldn't say that the public views him as somebody who just doesn't have it anymore. Right. He's already a star. Whether they don't want to give it to him or not, he can say, I'm quitting today, and he's gonna make more money in life than in boxing. So then, who the hell are we to say anything about that? But is he gonna peak? Is he gonna peak? That's the word to use. Is he gonna peak? Is he gonna, or transcend down to, just a guy that was good, or what's his name? Jose Benavidez? He was great as an amateur prior to getting shot, but when you're no longer the prospect and you didn't elevate to what you were promised to be.
Ant made an excellent point about Jose Benavidez the other day. Remember, Ant? You remember what you said, Ant, about him too not athletic enough for the smaller guys, and then he don't have the power to go up and compete.
Yeah. He's stuck between a rock and a hard place. He's a tweener, man. You go back down to 147. You don't necessarily have the hand speed and the athleticism to compete with them guys, but then up around 160, 168, you don't got the size to compete with them guys. Like we seen that he was just he pretty much got beat by a jab for the most part. Charlo did land some good combinations, but
Charlo hurt him,
a couple times. Yeah, that jab was keeping him super honest.
Frustrated too.
Yeah. He was gonna stop him in the 10th. Harvey Doc saved him.
One thing that Benavidez, Jose does have. He has guts. And I've been talking about guts for so long. He has heart. His heart might be bigger. His heart might outweigh his talent per se. But he has guts.
Yeah.
And that's what we haven't been seeing from this new crop of boxers. They've been very safe. They've been very honest with themselves. Even if they talk shit outside the ring, they've been honest with themselves in the ring, because we don't see them take risks. And I seen an interview that with Bozy recently, and he says at some point in time, whether these boxers want to realize it or not, they're gonna get in a fight, and that's gonna tell them what they have in them or not. And that's what we're waiting to see from all of these. I don't want to tear any of them down. That's why when I thought about it, talking to Ant the other day, I said, you know what, I'm not going to go crazy. Right now, I want to see when that time comes. That'll give me the answer. Somebody's going to close the gap on Shakur. Somebody's going to make Devin get into a firefight. And when that time comes, what's going to happen? Because we seen it
December 9th.
Yeah, we seen it from Ryan. Because I don't know if you guys noticed, but when Tank was really getting close to Ryan and he started spinning him around, Ryan was turning his back to him. That's a difference of skill right there. Where he couldn't figure out how to get out the way. Where he really kind of curled up.
Yeah.
That's just a difference of skill in itself.
He straight turned his back one time, remember?
Yeah. Another time, Tank did something where he was doing like a merry-go-round, impersonating him. Yeah. Tank was having a lot of goddamn fun in that ring. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
But that's just the difference. I just want to see what these young guys do. And I don't want to go too hard until I see that they don't have that element to them.
Right.
So what some of them do got is they're great boxers. Hitchison, great boxer.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
It's just is the next element there, or that's what they just are, really good boxers.
So like you say, them good boxers gonna end up in a fight one day, then we're gonna see.
And then it might be a problem for some of them.
Yep.
Right? You know, I don't want that to be the case for most people's favorite fighters. But when that time comes, you know, the truth is recorded. It's going to be shown on TV.
I do. I can't wait. Maybe that'll make them better. Then they realize they can fight, and then they'll come out and be better after that, you know? They get in their fight and win it.
But it happens every generation. Every generation goes through a time where what's the known thing in the gym becomes common. Like we seen James Harden did that move, and it started a wave where all the kids are learning this move now, right? To the point where now it's no longer special; it becomes ordinary. Right. It becomes like a gym move versus like it made you special. So now these kids are gym kids. Like they grew up in the gym. They grew up idolizing certain fighters. But these certain fighters, like Floyd, turned into what he turned into. Versus he's always been at his whole fight, and there wasn't. I mean, his whole life, and there was no other elements to it. So it's just a matter of seeing it, I guess. Like, you know.
Yeah, that's all.
And knowing how much, you know, guts. I just want to see the guts. That's all.
Yeah, me too. That's all. I can't wait till somebody bring it out of them in a fight. And like I said, it might make them better. They get into a fight and mess around and win. Like Shakur. Getting there, somebody cut the ring off and make him fight, and he mess around and win it. And like, hey, I don't have to be so defensive all the time, you know?
I'll say this. If Shakur figures out how to be a bruiser and amazing defense, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm scared for Tank in a situation like that because I know that the dude is a really good defensive fighter. If anybody's going to beat Tank on points, right?
It's Shakur. Yeah.
It's Shakur because Shakur, he can stay to the game plan from 1 to 12.
Yeah, he's disciplined. Yeah.
If he's going to make a mistake in between 1 to 12, that's a pressure that's going to be applied by somebody like Tank. Devin, time for time, he likes to get into little firefights here and there. But
that's what Mike Grimes said.
Yeah, he's allotted to do that because most of the guys that he fought weren't really 35 fighters, really. They were smaller guys. I can't really name anybody who was like a risk of him getting too close to. JoJo, he's from a smaller division.
Bernard had some pop.
Boy, but he wasn't a full 35, and he was old.
Yeah, that's true. That's true too.
He went up and down. Like, you know, most of the like Devin's really like a 40, 47 that was squeezing down to 35, you know? These dudes were smaller guys coming up in class. You know?
True. They belong down there, right?
So now, like, I just want to see if he gets hit by something or he decides to get into a firefight with a Regis or I don't even just want to say Regis because if he happens to knock off Regis, like a T.O.'s useful. He has power along with it.
Or Gary Antoine, somebody like that.
I like Gary, but I think people give him a little bit too much credit versus what he's shown. Because one of those fights that he fought, well, he looked like he was in trouble, and he got like an early stoppage that that I thought was some bullshit. But like he gave me kind of like what I've seen so far, almost like a Sean Porter, rough and tumble, you know, that type of look. So I can't really give it to him yet. That from what I've seen.
I agree. I'm right there with you on Gary and Antoine Russell too. It's just like, yeah, you're a tough guy, and you're scrappy and everything like that, but I still don't feel as though I've seen what everybody else has seen.
Yeah, maybe
I hear a lot about him. I think he's good. He's solid, but I just don't know yet.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Cause do you remember the fight that he fought where he got that stoppage on? It was before he took this layoff.
Yep.
Get the guy's name, but
was it his last fight?
No, the fight before his last.
Before that, okay.
Yeah,
I can't remember who that. Oh, that was the one premature stoppage, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that was. Yeah, I can't remember the guy's name. I know who you're talking about though.
But the guy was boxing the shit out of him. Like he was toe to toe with him. He looked like he hurt him a little bit, clipped him.
Yeah.
And then the ref hopped in and called the fight. And I was like, what the hell was that? Like, you know what I mean? But
no, I can't remember the guy's name, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like him. Everybody needs that in the division as well to actually push you. I think the Kid Austin is like that too. I don't find him as really like a skillful kid. It's just that
coming up this weekend, right? Remo? Kid Austin, and Ryan's card. I think so. Floyd Schofield, right?
See, I want to like him so bad, but I just hate his daddy, man.
Yeah, he's on this card this weekend. Yeah.
His father's is terrible. His father's terrible for boxing.
Oh man, Bill Jr.
He worse than Bill. Like he'll if Devin's next to him, he'll let him talk. He'll give him a chance. This kid don't even give his son a chance to talk.
No, it's crazy.
Yeah, I don't like it at all.
No, I don't either. I don't like that either. The fighters, okay, but the fathers, come on, man. Sometimes they go too far with it.
For some reason, I always wanted to see Danny Garcia and what you call it, like a Tio or some shit like that. Like,
yeah, both their fathers
them two daddies is crazy, man.
Yeah, Angel and Teofimo Sr. Yeah, both that would be something. The press conference would be very entertaining.
Very, 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 very entertaining. Very entertaining. Yeah. Like I love AB, right? Just imagine if AB wasn't AB, right? Wasn't the fuck up. AB would be perfect for the 40 division right now, cause he's a name. Cause
I know.
I was over at KQ today, and he was saying about the 140 division. Everybody fights each other over there. Correct. The only problem is it ain't no money in that division.
Wasn't AB supposed to fight Saturday? Wasn't that he got canceled or something, right? I heard. Wasn't that this weekend?
Yeah,
it was Saturday.
Said he got canceled for Don King's birthday or something like that. He's supposed to fight. I don't know if the whole card got folded up, but like,
yeah,
it's very sad, man, because
I know
he's the name. He's the name that.
Yeah.
Like you see how they calling out Tank, but they all at 130, 140. Tank is at 35, and I mean 140. His coaches are saying like he's a 35 fighter. He's a 35 fighter, and it looked crazy that dudes is calling out a lot smaller guy, but in all actuality, he's the money guy. Like, you know, who else are you really supposed to call out? Because by the time they get to each other, they all gonna fight each other eventually. Because they all that division, they just fight, like, you know.
They want Tank, tell them come on down.
But to
Tank
wait
ain't
on
coming
one
up
guy,
there just yet.
Yeah, but the weight to put the division on hold for one person is kind of like, you know. And AB would have been that guy. He would have got money with Ryan. AB and Ryan is a good name just for Ryan alone. But
Rolly too.
AB is seller. Rolly won't give him.
AB and Rolly would have been with a soul, you know.
The storyline of AB and Haney would have sold.
Yeah.
Being that he was actually at the gym at the sparring, and you know what I mean, he was supposed to be the big homie, the Tank, and you know.
Yep. And he's missing another. He needed to get this fight in, you know, to keep going up with if he's trying to get back in the picture. But now he's, you know,
gotta stop playing with Don King. You cut your finger off or something and shoot you in your kneecap. You ain't playing with these. These dudes. I heard stories about him.
Man, he's still doing it. Don King and Bob Irvin both still doing it. Ain't that something?
90-something years old. 90s. They on borrowed time for real.
Yeah.
You know?
They're gonna work all the way up to the end.
What happens to those
retirement
contracts?
there.
Where do those contracts go if you sign to Bob?
I'm sure he got somebody in place that's gonna, you know, step in there. We just don't know who it is or whatever, but he gotta have somebody. Does he have any sons or anything? I never heard nothing like that about Bob.
I haven't heard anything about that guy. None about his personal life I've ever heard. I just know that he cheap as hell.
Yeah. It's got to be somebody at top rank that, ready to step in, though, I would think.
Hopefully.
Who it is, I have no idea.
Even Top Rank. I think Top Rank has the talent, but the powers that be don't release that money, man. And, and these kids ain't dumb. They not like back in the day. Like, these kids ain't stupid. They not fighting for pennies anymore. Because realistically, if you fight for 200,000, right? Let's say you get 1 or 2 fights at 200,000 each fight. If you're a New York fighter, that's damn near half your shit. So that's 400 for the year. You get 200, and then you still got to pay bills or whatever. I make 100 and something thousand. I ain't take a punch to the face. What's the purpose?
Yeah. True. B3 said we're gonna go out with this one. Panel, Tank Snake's opponent. Who you got? Who you think, Remo? Tank Snake's opponent.
Realistically?
Yeah.
Shit. I think it might be Frank. I think it might be Frank. I don't think they're going to...
You still there, Ant? Ant, you still here? What you say, Remo?
I don't even know where my phone is at. Where the hell my phone at?
Who do you think Tank Snake's opponent will be?
I have no idea.
No idea?
No.
Okay. All right.
I just hope that it's a good performance. That's all I can hope for.
It can't be be Pitbull, dog. It can't be Pitbull.
No, why not? Why?
Because what the numbers that they touched recently, and the public of the hardcore. Remember, I always say before we get out of here, it's almost 4 o'clock.
Go ahead.
Before we get out of here, we know that the hardcore community only has about 250 to 300,000 hardcore fans in the United States alone. That's where the baseline hardcore fight number is for pay-per-view, right? Mm-hmm. If a majority of the hardcore fans is already saying, I'm not paying for that, or I don't want that, you're not pleasing the community that you're striving towards. Most of the fans that paid for that 1 point, whatever the number was, that we'll never get the answer to, those are not hardcore fans. And those fans don't know Pitbull Cruz, and they don't care about his country, and they don't care about the Mexican flag. They don't care about Cinco de Mayo. They want to put Tank in somewhere with somebody who they think either cultivates the culture, or I think he could lose to. And that's where the numbers come in. And that's Tank doesn't want to step further down from that after doing 1 point something. It doesn't look good for business. It doesn't look good for his profile. And it doesn't look good for the community.
Okay. Good point.
For me, if they do go with Pitbull, it depends on when it happens. If they go with Pitbull and it happens in January or something like that, I wouldn't necessarily be too mad at that, because the way I would look at it is it's a stepping stone. It's a fight in which they can clear up some controversy for the people who feel as though Pitbull won the fight. We all know that Tank had the hand situation. It's similar to like with Floyd with Castillo. Some people felt like Floyd won, but we all know some people felt like Floyd lost. But we all know Floyd had the issue with the torn rotator cuff. Then he got healed up. They did the rematch, and that shit was a lot more conclusive. And then we just move on to the next thing. Tank, I feel like Tank, if he hadn't had his legal situations that set him back, we probably would have saw a third fight from him this year. So that's what I'm saying. It depends on when they fight. If they fight early in the first quarter, January, February, get that out the way, let them have another fight for the summer, then have another fight to close the year off, I wouldn't be mad at that. But if they fight twice in the next year, I don't want to see Pitbull Cruz.
No, I don't want to see it. I just think that's who it's going to be. But it's probably going to be an early fight. Get it out the way.
If you give me Pitbull, you can give me Pitbull with the announcement that Haney's next, just like he did Hector with Brian.
Yeah, exactly. And
I'll take that.
Yeah, it's all about the timing. It's all about the timing for me. It's like if we only gonna get Tank twice, I don't want to see no damn Pitbull Cruz. But if this is just like a stay busy fight and also a means for them to clear up a little bit of controversy, and then, like you just said, Remo, this is a lead up to something. This is a segue.
That's what I think it's going to be. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Okay, fellas, this was another good cook. You had something else, Remo? Where we go?
No. Just a pleasure, man.
Okay, always a pleasure. Appreciate you, fellas.
Appreciate you for giving us the platform, man. You do a terrific job of doing the mediation or moderation, I should say. I gotta give you that. You do a fantastic job.
I appreciate it. That means a lot. Okay, so we'll do it again tomorrow then.
Copy.
Time for Just Do Boxing. Okay.
Sayonara.
Everybody in the chat, thank you. Mike Rhyme, B3, BN Boxing News, Thomas Hill, Bruce Gass, Mike Mazik, Thomas Morris, Gregory Pratt, GP, J Hardcore, Mercedes J, and my great panel, Aunt McQueen and Remo. Appreciate you guys. And I appreciate everybody for helping me get my small channel off the ground. But hey, you got to be small before you can be big, right? Cast Sports. See y'all. Just Do Boxing. Came in right at the tail end, bro. Good to see you. Be over there in a minute. Everybody have a good one. Appreciate y'all. Just Do Boxing in the building. This show is straight ahead. I'm out.